providing an outstanding patient experience with every visit. Not only do we offer all your dental needs under one roof, in most cases, we can take care of those needs on the same day. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gakwe Cosmetic and Family Dentistry.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in ENC. Open at noon 7 days a week with live music. Come enjoy sports trivia with me, Clip Rock, every Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's live local acoustic night, along with line dancing from 7 to 9 on Wednesday. Thursday, there's a brand new lineup with Singo starting at 8, followed by karaoke with DJ Dog. Ladies and free both Friday and Saturday nights with the best local bands in the area. Finish the weekend with free games and DJ Kids Scene.
Y'all come get fucked up.
Washington's favorite place to eat and where all the locals go is down on Main Street. Down on Main Street is now open 7 days a week. Stop by for the house salad with grilled chicken, the half club sandwich with chips, or everyone's favorite, the fried shrimp plate. After work, Down on Main Street is the perfect spot for dinner and drinks on the patio. Join Down on Main every Wednesday for half-price wings from 4 p.m. to close. Down on Main Street in historic downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Parker Bird, and the best place to go for custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items is University Sportswear. University Sportswear was super easy to work with when I needed my custom shirts. From start to finish, University Sportswear provided superior customer service and a quality product that cannot be beat. If your business, organization, or event needs t-shirts or promotional help, then you need University Sportswear. Visit UniversitySportswearENC.com for contact information. Go Pirates.
If you missed the Brian Bailey Show, you missed
Damon Magazoo, safeties coach at East Carolina. Hey, I don't know if your ears were burning last week or not, but Rodney Freeman was on with us, and we were talking about some of the greatest plays in East Carolina football history. And guess whose name came up?
Well, I think Coach Freeze is trying to gas me up.
I told him when he said it, I said, man, Max has kind of got me on a gag order that I'm not allowed to talk about it anymore.
Tune in Mondays at noon for the Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, right here on Pirate Radio. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Big now.
Clip. Hey, man, good to see you, brother.
We got Jarrett here. Hey, Jarrett.
Hey.
And we got left side.
Strong side.
He's like an Incredible Hulk when the temperature goes up. He gets angry.
You don't want to make me warmer. It was just such a fresh of breath air.
Well said, John.
You need to write a song called Super.
He's a great communicator.
Got a little taco meat on my chest.
Good to see you too, Clip. And to all the discount people that have replaced the people I knew here at Pirate Radio.
Wow.
Welcome.
Wow.
Discount Chandler, discount Big Dog.
Big Dog really shrunk.
Anthony Santander.
If it wasn't funny, then let's blame it on the duck.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome in to a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250, 930 online, PR927FM.com. And you can find us on YouTube, Pirate Radio TV. We will take your comments, your likes, and subscribes as well. Big day today. NFL Draft is tonight. We'll talk plenty about that on today's show. A big groundbreaking as, man, I've been waiting on this a while. An indoor practice facility at East Carolina is now going to be a reality, and we'll have a groundbreaking for that. We'll be covering that later on, so that is a big deal. Been waiting on it for a long time. We'll talk about that as well. Pirate baseball resuming on Friday. Tulane will be in town. We'll talk to Corey Glore, voice of the Green Wave, coming up on Friday's show as they get set for a 3-game series. But coming up on today's show, we got a packed house. Zach Kaplan, Alex Harper here in studio for segment number 1. Alex Harper will be making a life-changing decision as he will be announcing his favorite NFL team for the first time in his life. He will be a supporter of an NFL franchise, and we have gone from 32 to 3. And he'll be making his announcement next segment here on Pirate Radio Live. Jared Watkins also here in studio. Hello, Jared.
Hey.
We got Holton Ahlers joining us and Jeff Nadu in the 4 o'clock hour. Coach Hud will join us coming up in hour number 3 of today's show. And our New Blue Pirate Report with John David Baker and Josh Aldridge. So a lot to do. We'll welcome in Harp. Alex, how you feeling, man?
I'm nervous.
Yeah.
This is a big commitment.
Huge. Yeah.
This is big time.
This is it. I mean, if your franchise you pick goes south, like, you'll always remember this day and this choice that you made.
Yep.
Or if they win 4 Super Bowls in the next 15 years.
I will also remember this day.
Yeah. And then what it took to get to this moment. Zach Kaplan joining us.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Clip.
You made a good choice, or I guess your parents made a good choice to conceive you where you were born, because you were born into being a Patriots fan. Is that fair to say?
Being born in the late 90s and being born into, like, I really didn't have a choice on the matter either, but it worked out. And
you had a silver football spoon.
Really did.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of disgusting when you think about it.
My grandfather had to sit through 30 years of horrendous Patriots football.
He had it terrible.
40 years.
Your kids are going to have it terrible.
Yeah, because it's coming back the other way.
But you enjoyed your life. Zach, welcome you. Who'd you bring with you from Channel? We got a lot of Channel 9ers in the house today.
We do. We got our intern, Tucker Proctor. We got my colleague, Jackson Saylor, holds it down with me on the weekends.
Jackson, a familiar face.
Yep, he's been here before.
Every time I go to my parents' house, I see his face. They've always got Channel 9 on, so there you go.
We're not quite left side.
No, he's not there personally. He's on TV.
You went to go visit your parents, and old Jackson's just sitting on the couch.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Shout out Mr. Brock in particular for getting just a great screen grab of me in Raleigh this past week.
Big Zach fan.
I looked like I was asleep standing up.
Jack says, hey, Zach.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Zach.
Zach Smith says, time for hashtag the decision.
Ooh. It is.
Jerry says hello. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Jibber.
Jamie says, hey now.
Hey now.
Gotta say, I think I look forward more to the final round of the Masters versus the draft.
That's bait. That's you're trying to get Clip going. That's also very valid.
He did say, unless your team has a top 5 or 3 pick, and he's got a point there.
So I shouldn't be excited about the 6th pick?
No, you're out of the top 5.
Oh, dang.
Your pick does not matter.
I hate being in the top 5, I'll tell you that much. It's an unfamiliar feeling. But
I'd rather be where we are right now than, like, pick 13. I'd rather like go 4 and 13, get the good draft pick, than 8 and 9.
We got Logan here as well with his OKC shirt on. We'll talk a little NBA playoffs at some point, and Will the Chill here as well. So we got a packed house here on a Thursday. Let's start with the hockey, because Alex, you were at game 1. Zach, you were at game 1.
We might have been there together, actually. As a matter of fact.
Boy, that's ironic that both of y'all were there. But not game 2. Or did you? Did you slide over there after the weather?
So I should have.
Yeah. Can I apologize too?
Go ahead.
Mostly to myself and the people who trust in me for being a moron. You were explaining to me Monday night that you were going to go to the Canes game and then hit baseball, and you might go back to the Canes game after baseball. And I knew ECU played on the road, but in my head at that time, I was like, this fool's going to go to Raleigh, Greenville, and back to Raleigh, and then back to Greenville. And in my head, I was like, Zach, you're an idiot. But I was the idiot because both the baseball and
most of the
hockey
time
was
that's true, though.
That I'm the idiot?
No, that I'm the idiot.
I think we're both idiots. But you almost did a hockey to baseball to hockey, back and forth. You said you might do that. What did you end up doing?
Just here's the thing, right? The credentials, like game to game, look kind of similar. I thought about it. I was like, could I go to game 2? I'm like, but the chances of, look, if this team goes on a run and they're like, what do you do when you're not supposed to be here? I mean, how stupid is that? If I don't get to go to the Eastern Conference Final because I tried to.
Well, let's talk pros and cons. All right, the best case scenario is they look at it, they say, all right, come on in, Mr. Kaplan, and you're there for game 2. I guess the worst case would be what you were getting at there, where they say, this is a game 1 credential.
This is 4/20, April 20th, 2020.
Hey, bro, are you celebrating 420? Because you got to be high to think I'm going to let you in this building. And maybe they just say, oh, I'm sorry, sir. And in that case, if they said this is a game 1 credential, I would have said, oh my goodness, you're right. My other one's in the car. I'll be right back. And then I'll just leave. Or they could say, sir, you're trying to pull one over on us. Not only you're not getting in this game, you're done. You're out.
Banned for life.
Can you imagine?
They put your big fat face on the side of the arena.
Only Costanza would that happen to. That's like a Costanza level of I can't go to it anymore at Canes playoff games. Why? I tried to get it at game 2 with a game 1 credential.
But can I say, I love that you thought about trying that. I respect you for that.
It crossed my mind. And then the game itself wasn't even anything that crazy, so I felt vindicated.
I mean, how intently are they looking at that pass?
Like, not really.
Yeah, I think he would have got in.
I should think about it. Even though there's security that probably gets paid like $16 an hour. And most of them are either college students or recently graduated and looking for another job.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm surprised you didn't try that. Well, you were working, I guess.
I was.
If you weren't working, would you have tried to? Are you going to try to use that credential for the rest of the postseason, like Stanley Cup playoffs?
Game 7 of the final. There you go.
No, because I don't want to make the place that I work look bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to get the place that I work in trouble. And then also, if I get in trouble, there would be no possibility of me being able to tag along in the future.
Right. Correct.
Playing the long game, Cliff.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Playing the long game.
I will take issue with saying the game wasn't that great. I mean, Hurricanes went on a flurry there in the second period, and it got really exciting.
They did.
If not for Brett Pesce, it might have been a much more lopsided game.
What do you think? Harp up 2-0.
I'm not excited yet because in all reality, New Jersey's not that great. Even they're missing their best player. Jack Hughes had a season-ending shoulder injury, but even with him, they weren't that great. So I'll be okay if we don't win this game in 5 or less. I'll be a little bit
win
concerned,
the series in 5 or less. So basically, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Our real playoff run starts in round 2.
Okay, which could be against who?
Caps.
The Caps.
OV.
Yeah, that'll be huge. But for right now, Jersey Devil, Dirt Devil. Devil Wears Prada. Canes of 5.
There you go.
You imitating your hero on that one?
Who?
Shannon Sharp.
Who is that?
Jose?
No, I won't be affiliated.
Coming up later in the show, Logan is going to read some text messages that were sent to Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp was featured in Sports Trivia this week.
That he was.
He got in there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see if there's one I could actually read. Because these 2 words are not bad, but when you put them together.
This is Pirate Radio Read Aloud with Clip Brock.
Those 2 words right there.
Yeah.
Like those words are fine. I like both of those things.
All right.
Separately.
Yeah.
Do you like gravy on your mashed potatoes? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could do without it, but I mean.
Anything cuter than a newborn baby. Okay, you get my point.
But when you put them together.
Right.
Not good.
Nope.
Probably not good for air either.
Shannon Sharp, by the way, some news, stepping aside from ESPN.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that under his own volition?
Well, no. I mean, yes and no.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they told him to, but he's doing this because he's in a bit of heat.
He'd probably just want to do Club Shay Shay exclusively so he can keep being involved in these kind of scenarios and not really getting in trouble for it.
Here's my question: is he playing the long game like Harp and I were with the Canes? Is that
what is the game he's playing?
Yeah, he's getting sued.
Well, he wants the whole evidence to be released.
Yeah,
I won't
that's
say what
crazy.
specific evidence, but people can go online and look that up.
If they would have just never fired Max Kellerman from First Take, Michael Irvin wouldn't have got sued. Shannon Sharp probably wouldn't have got sued.
God, speaking of long game, how long ago was that?
A while ago.
Yeah, 20 years.
But it seems like every new co-host Stephen A. brings in, they're getting in trouble with the ladies.
Stephen A. setting all this up so he can keep rising, and he's pushing guys down the ladder to get up there.
For God's sakes, keep Pat McAfee off of First Take.
Or if you don't like him, get him on First Take.
Yeah.
How about a less controversial pick for the next one? What about like Joy Taylor?
A less controversial?
Sure.
I got a text from this guy. He said, back in the day, I wandered around the Smith Center with no credentials. They thought I was a recruit, so they didn't want to bother me or upset me. Now, that's great, but this guy in particular is a tall African-American. So if I tried to do that, I don't think it would work.
You're on the scout team.
What are they recruiting you for? The
concession stand?
Hot dog contest team? So, yeah, Terrence, I can see why you could get away with that, but not me.
A little different.
Yeah. That's called racial profiling.
And profiling's wrong.
Yes,
I do believe.
But Terrence is a tall drink of water, as they say. All right. Jamie says Harp going with Josh Allen and the Bills has to be. Bucks make no sense. I don't think he's a fan of Baltimore. Just a gut feeling.
The Bucks make no sense.
So
and they made it this far.
I thought Bucks Baltimore from the beginning, and I'll tell you why. Alex here is a Baker Mayfield stan. Fair to say?
That's fair.
You love Bake.
I do.
You wrote him, but he still ain't calling.
I did.
You left your name, your number, and your home phone number.
Why is your girlfriend in the trunk of your car?
Don't drive off any bridges, all right?
Just drink a fifth of vodka.
Baltimore, damn you drive. Baltimore has purple. We got a little bit of gold. They have Keaton Mitchell. They have a franchise quarterback. They are always a Super Bowl contender. They are very close. They are very drivable.
Geographic closest of the three.
They've got a lot going for them.
Is Dale Earnhardt Jr. the quarterback of? I get confused.
I think it's Alexander Ovechkin, actually. So I think the Bills are the wild card in the scenario. I did not see the Bills making the final three. That's the one. I would say the Bills would shock me. These other two would not. What do you think, Jared?
That makes sense.
You've been following the process.
He's always talked about distance.
Yeah.
That team's too far. I don't want to, I want to be able to get in the car and go to a game. Tampa, pretty far, but a nice location. Baltimore, close.
Cool stadium.
Yeah. They got a pirate ship in there.
I like when I'm going up 95 looking at the Raven Stadium. I think it's a beautiful.
How often do you do that?
Yeah. Well, my wife's from Jersey.
Oh, okay, okay.
We just go about once a year. But you can see it from the road.
Nice.
And,
Little M&T Bank.
Yeah, it's nice.
The other two have both won Super Bowls recently as well. The Bills have not.
Bills would be good to get on board with because you could join a suffering fan base. I don't want anybody to say Harp's a front runner either. Like, I don't think you're choosing these teams because you're like dying for a Super Bowl. You could pick the Chiefs if you wanted to. You could,
I did cut some teams from my list because they were terrible. And without any glimmer of hope to be good in the near future.
Yeah.
So I do care that the team is good. I want my favorite team to be a Super Bowl contender. So,
all right. Well, we're gonna make the decision coming up next segment. Zach, you need to run.
I got a couple minutes here.
Okay. Well, we're going to do another segment. Are you going to leave mid-segment, or are you going to leave during this break?
I'll leave during this break.
That's what I'm getting.
I'm glad we were able to clarify that.
Zach, anything else you want to hit on before you leave out of here? Oh, I want to ask people this today. Don't say Tom Brady, because at the time the Patriots, well, first of all, you were young and don't even remember that draft, but of course that's your best draft pick ever. What's the favorite pick the Patriots made at the time? And maybe he was a bust, or maybe he was great, but at the time of the selection, who are you most excited about? Does anybody come to mind?
Well, I saw the clip this past week, so I got to go with Gronk, because it was like his whole family. And he bear hugged Goodell, and you could just tell right away this guy.
So, you remember that draft?
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah,
I was 12. But I've been going to games for a few years. So.
Former ECU offensive coordinator Dave Nickel coached Gronk at Arizona.
There you go.
Who do you want tonight?
I think they're going Campbell. Not exactly a bold pick. It's like minus 380 that he goes there, but I think they're going Campbell. Seems like they're in love with him. That's fine. I don't care about the arm length thing. I think it's stupid. In fact, I'd rather draft a guy with a chip on his shoulder over something dumb like that than draft, the prima donna.
I loved hearing him answer questions about that. Like, have you watched any tape or anything? Like, who cares?
Joe Burrow, small hands.
And he did say in college, I'm a protect the quarterback guy. So whenever anyone went after your boy Jaden Daniels at LSU, he was right on there.
Hey, and I appreciate him keeping him healthy so he can do what he does today.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Check him out, WNCT at Channel 9. You're going to be at Clark LeClaire this weekend.
I will be. We'll see if the Pirates can get themselves back in the AAC title race. This is 5 consecutive regular seasons. It's on the line, the streak.
Yeah. So the streak continues.
Still got time to get back in it.
Gonna be at the groundbreaking,
and I won't be digging the shovels in, but I'll be with the camera getting video of the people digging the shovels in.
Good deal.
I always wanted to be involved in a groundbreaking someday, Clip.
Maybe one day. Appreciate you. Thank you, Channel 9 fellas, for hanging out.
Thanks for having me. Hey, Harp, good luck with your decision. We're all counting on you to make the right one.
I appreciate it, brother. I will see you in probably about an hour.
Awesome.
We'll take a break, come back. Harp makes the decision when we return to Pirate Radio Live. Ravens, Bucks, Bills, who will it be? We'll tell you after this.
The date is set, and the time is now to make plans to join us for the Greenville's Art Bowl of the Year on Saturday, April 26th at the Hilton. The Greenville Museum of Art invites you to its premiere event featuring live music from train wreck, fine dining, dancing, and auctions. For tickets and more information, go to gmoa.org/art-ball. Join the celebration.
Doug Henry of Greenville is looking for your trade-in and your business. Doug Henry of Greenville is right on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Memorial, and always right on the price and looking to beat every offer out there. Bring in any offer from CarMax, and they will beat it by $500. Just bring it in and you won't be disappointed. Doug Henry of Greenville has over 300 vehicles to choose from and brand new inventory arriving daily, and you can always check them out online at DougHenryGreenville.com. Doug Henry, right on the corner and right on the price.
Looking for an adventure that's refreshing in more ways than one? Welcome to River Vibes, where nature meets flavor. Freely paddle through the stunning Pamlico River on one of our kayaks or stand-up paddle boards. After your adventure, cool down with one of our mouth-watering smoothies, refreshers, boba teas, or fresh juices. Plus, grab some awesome River Vibes gear to remember the day. River Vibes, where every moment is a splash of fun. Visit us in historic downtown Washington or on Facebook or Instagram. Ride, relax, and refresh at River Vibes.
It seems like places are giving you less and less food these days.
Yes, Mama, it's called shrinkflation. Oh, shrinkflation, that's just another word for robbery. But this is shackflation. What? Dang, that's huge. Extra pepperoni, extra cheese on that thing.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and get a Shackaroni pizza for only $12.99. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates.
Make things happen this year with the new John Deere. In just one visit to Quality Equipment, you'll find the right lawnmower, compact tractor, or Gator UTV that will save you time and money on your next project. Keep things running all season long with the help of our experienced parts and service team. Your new Deere isn't far away. Find current offers and budget-friendly packages at your local Quality Equipment with 36 locations across North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit QualityEquip.com to get started. That's QualityEquip.com.
Welcome to Russell's Spring Style. Our screen door shouts welcome to a beautiful selection of new apparel for men and women. The spring colors are bold and beautiful, just in time for vacation and Easter. Men, make your next suit or sports coat purchase easy with in-house alterations to assure a great fit. Ladies, it's Russell's for the best selection in dresses, tops, and slacks for most any occasion. Rhonda and her team work hard to make Russell's in downtown Washington your shopping destination. It's all about you, our pirate friends and customers at Russell's in downtown Washington.
Here at the Holistic Company, we know that life throws you its fair share of curveballs, like passing that drug test. Congrats. Now you can finally relax, kick back, and, well, light one up. You've earned it. And whether you've had one of those weeks, or maybe your mother-in-law's in town and you're one passive-aggressive comment away from needing a vacation, if this sounds like you, then come visit our team here at the Holistic Company to help you find the perfect products to ease your stress and promote relaxation. Order our products online at theholisticco.com or visit us at 5th and Evans in Greenville or at one of our other 2 locations in Fremont or Smithfield. The Holistic Company.
This is Brian Harris with 360 Golf Carts, Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. We have E-Z-Go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by my shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, we have you covered. We will even deliver right to you. So come see me, Brian Harris, on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
This is Carter Spivey, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Chronic joint pain hovers. You never know when it's going to rear its ugly head, and that goes for David Garrard, too. This is why the medical professionals at QC Kinetics take their job so seriously. When they treat patients like David Garrard, they are delivering long-term relief. Treatments without surgery or downtime. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. 252-765-PAIN. That's 252-765-PAIN. And Overtime Tavern is now open on South Charles Boulevard. You can stop in for great food, cold drinks, and all the game day action. And pretty much you'll see half our crew there most of the time. Swing in today and try their Philly cheesesteaks, glizzies, mouth-watering burgers, and delicious wings. They're open until midnight Sunday through Thursday and open late until 3 a.m. on the weekends. There's always time on the clock at Overtime Tavern. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Had a fun night at Overtime Tavern last night playing sports trivia, watching NHL and NBA playoffs. J-Bone enjoying some cold ones. What'd you eat?
Chicken wings, lemon pepper.
Wings. They have great lemon. I say it all the time. I don't know how they do it, man, but they are crispy and they are delicious.
Yeah.
Check out Overtimes right by Krispy Kreme. All right, Harp, we got about 12 minutes to knock this out. We are down to 3. From 32 to 3. Ravens, Bucks, Bills are left. I don't know who Alex is going to pick. First of all, when did you make your final decision? How long have you known your team?
I had an idea early on. I probably made the official decision about a week ago.
Wow.
A week ago.
This journey began right after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes to a culmination today. NFL draft tonight. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to, instead of going one by one, I want to go.
You want me to pick the team first and then we'll go over the pros and cons after? Like explaining why? Okay.
I don't want to do that.
All right.
I want to do pros for every team, cons for every team, and then you make your final choice.
Okay.
So I will randomly first select the Ravens.
Okay.
Pros for the Ravens.
Pros for the Ravens. We've kind of covered it a little bit. They are the closest team to us that is not the Washington Commanders, I believe.
Yep.
Purple and gold. Great color scheme. I love the uniforms. Arguably the best in the league.
I agree. When they go all black, black helmets, it's nasty.
Yeah. Stadium is nice. I've been to Baltimore a couple times. I actually really enjoy the city, despite what social media will tell you. It's a nice place.
The Wire is a great show.
Yeah. How could you not like Lamar Jackson? And, of course,
Jarrett, how could you not like Lamar Jackson?
He's a doofus and thinks that people get him and Dale Earnhardt Jr. confused.
But, and, of course, Keaton Mitchell, the guy that I was in the locker next to.
You could text Keaton and say, hey, man, I'm a fan of your team now. Send me a jersey and probably get that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I probably could.
Cons.
Justin Tucker.
Yeah. At this iteration, yeah.
At this iteration. Career on and off the field.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He's got that little Deshaun Watson in him.
Oh, yeah.
Other cons for the Ravens.
I don't feel like Lamar I mean,
they are so damn consistent. They always do good in the draft. They always have cool players.
Yeah.
Reoccurring postseason failures.
True, but depending on who you root for, Jarrett and I can tell you, just getting to the postseason could be a good thing.
Also, part of me feels like they're older because they've been around for a while. Like, I know Lamar is decently young, but what makes Lamar great is his mobility.
Sure. Derrick
and that's not
Henry's
going to be around
older,
forever.
but still great. Great coach, John Harbaugh.
Yep.
All right. Well, a lot of pros, not a lot of cons for the Ravens. Let's go to the Bucks.
Okay.
Pros.
Tampa Bay Bucks. Love the state of Florida. I go to Florida probably a couple times a year because my girlfriend's family has a place in St. Augustine. So that's about 2.5 hours from Tampa. So it's still reasonable for me to get to the games. I love the colors.
Yeah.
Red and gray is super nice.
Pewter.
Yeah, the pewter. The orange creamsicles. Absolutely gorgeous.
They are associated with terrible, awful football, but they look really cool on the field.
It's been established that I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan. Love Baker Mayfield. Started as a walk-on, just like me.
Freaking ship in the stadium.
Mm-hmm. They got a pirate ship in the stadium. How sick is that? I was very disappointed. My first year playing at ECU, we were supposed to play South Florida on the road.
Yeah.
So, that's where USF plays, but then the hurricane came through, so we played against USF in FAU Stadium in front of no fans.
I believe you've said you love the logo, top 3 logo.
Yeah,
in the NFL.
Yeah, at least it's probably top 2 and maybe not 2.
Okay,
it's a great logo.
All right, cons.
They're not great. I would say of these 3, they're the worst team of the 3 of these.
They have had 2 good eras. They had the Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp era, and then they had the Tom Brady era. And other than that, they have been a pretty bad franchise.
Also, Mike Evans probably won't be around much longer, I don't think.
Nah, he's
maybe like 2 or 3 years more.
Hall of Famer?
At most.
It's got to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. He's got 10 years straight of
1,000 yards.
Crazy. 1,000 yards. Yeah. That is insane.
I like Bucky. Had Bucky in fantasy this year, so I watched him a lot. Good rookie running back going into year 2.
I think, would Todd Bowles be a con?
Probably.
Yeah.
One of my cons was gonna be no more Bruce Arians because I did like Bruce.
Yeah,
he's still in is
he still wearing that bomb on his chest?
Probably.
Google that up. He looked funny with the communication device in the middle of his chest. All right, Bucks are great.
Bucks are great.
We go to the Bills.
All 3 of these teams are great.
Pros for the Bills.
Pros for the Bills. Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid is one of my favorites.
You can say it about any of these quarterbacks, but Josh Allen might be pound for pound the best quarterback to root for, week in, week out.
And
How cool would it be to have him as your quarterback?
The talent of that guy. He's like a mix of Cam Newton and Big Ben.
Yeah.
Something different for the Bills. I think the Bills have the best social media team in the whole league.
Okay, I'm unaware of this.
Yeah, you should follow the Buffalo Bills on TikTok. It's actually pretty hilarious.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
They got some funny stuff up there.
All right.
Like the blue.
Okay.
Blue and red. I mean, it's
I got a couple of cons, so let's get through the pros. Anything else?
0-4 in 13 seconds.
Oh yeah, 13 seconds. Chiefs come back.
Oh yeah.
Overtime. I did want to mention. I did care a little bit about the Bills because my girlfriend's uncle is from Buffalo and a diehard Bills fan.
Okay,
and has been begging me for weeks.
I like that. By the way, Hunter says be a part of the flock, Harp. He wants you on the Ravens flock, so they're trying to get you. Cons for the Bills. Question: would you wear an O.J. Simpson throwback?
It's not the right thing to do, but you can't lie and say that's not a really cool jersey.
What did this guy do? What terrible did...
I don't want to get into a discussion on our justice system.
He was acquitted of murder, and he served 3 life sentences for stealing his own shirts?
You know what? I have faith in our legal system.
I mean, I don't, but...
I don't either. I was being nice.
I might need to talk to you. I got a ticket this week, seatbelt ticket. I know you can get out of traffic incidents, so I might need to talk to you off the air.
I know a guy.
Okay.
All right.
You got the Super Bowls. The Bills didn't win. you're not going to go to a Buffalo game. Maybe if you got a family connection, you would, but it's like cold as Western New York. It's basically Canada, right?
Yeah. That would be my only way to go to a game is if I went with my girlfriend's uncle.
Bills Mafia, cool though.
Oh yeah,
sick. I would love to jump through a table at a tailgate. That would be fun.
You've never done that? No. It's quite exhilarating.
All right. Any we talked about the Pirate connections. Any West Virginia connections? You grew up a fan of the Mountaineers. Any Mountaineers on these teams?
So I'm glad you brought this up. I know West Virginia connections that I know of. However, former North Carolina Central teammate Brandon Codrington, kick returner, plays for the Bills.
You got teammates on the Bills and the
Ravens. That's right. Cool. I cut the Jets earlier, and I said one of the reasons the Jets are getting cut is because they traded one of my teammates, and that was Brandon Codrington of the Buffalo
What
Bills.
if you make a decision and Rajay gets picked up by one of the teams you cut? Would you?
That would suck.
The Rajay factor.
No backsies.
Okay, no backsies. Hey, Harp, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Damn, dude. I don't want this to end. Can we go one more week? I want to keep this going. This is a monster decision, man. I hope you have put a lot of thought into it. I'm sure you have. And you know what? The floor is yours, Alex.
In regards to who my favorite NFL team will be for the rest of my life, the Baltimore Ravens will not be my favorite team because my favorite team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, damn.
Oh, he's got the jersey. Put a jersey on. Put a jersey on.
It's time.
Matches your hair.
It's time.
Wait, where did you get that?
I won it at Sports Trivia.
Wait, so I forgot about that. Yeah. Who knew on that day, all that time ago, you would be rocking it?
So I was thinking.
Man, you look good in that
Thank
color.
you.
Yeah.
We started doing this before I went to trivia, and I kind of had the Buccaneers like in my head. I was like, okay, that's who I'm pretty sure, but my door's still open. And then I got the jersey, and I saw this sweet jersey in that bin. And I was like, no, that's it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. Also, I was reading up on it this morning. One of the positions of need for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, according to multiple websites, is a corner or a safety. Siobhan Revel is right there.
Come on down.
Siobhan Revel is right there. He's going to be a Buck.
That's not going to happen.
Let's ride.
Look at this guy in his team gear. Oh, man. I think it's a good look on you, man.
Thank you.
Did the snapbacks have anything to do with it? Because I was looking earlier, and I was like, that's fitted. The other two are snapback.
I went to an establishment here in Greenville to get these hats. The selection was kind of poor. I'm not going to lie. This was the only Bucks hat that they had.
Alex and his girlfriend did not eat dinner last night because he spent over $100 on hats yesterday.
It was like over $150.
Hey, look,
$150.
But you go turn those back in, you're gonna have some cash tonight.
But if anything, I will always commit to the bid.
Yeah.
So I had to get them.
Wait a minute. Did you make sure that you can get like money back instead of store credit?
Oh no,
I did.
You made sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you made sure that you got your paper receipt.
Yes. I said, I can get a refund and return these. And he was like, yeah.
You're going to go and they're going to
So I'm putting all of my faith into like a 19-year-old probably dude at an establishment.
He's going to end up
not
with
be
like
named.
some Bucks socks, and like other Bucks gear.
Sir, you can only get store credit.
Jamie's asking.
Think of that being a possibility.
Who was your second choice? Baltimore? Was Buffalo a real contender?
Buffalo was a real contender.
Okay.
It might have been Buffalo just because of family ties.
Man.
Family ties.
The TV
My
show?
girlfriend's uncle.
Wow. All right.
Yep.
Bucks fan A Harp. I can't wait for Bucks Panthers at the Buck. Alex versus Chandler coming up this season.
It's going to be a good
fun.
day. It's going to be a good day.
All right, UFL highlights is in the YouTube chat. It says pick a UFL team. All right, we got a whole.
All right,
Jarrett, we'll start with you. We'll knock them out one by one.
Let's see. I'll go with the.
Wait, we'll make your first call next week. We got to stretch this thing out.
All right, I'm eliminating the Roughnecks though.
I'm interested to see, too, because Jamie says you're taking a chance with Baker. Like, who's the next Bucs quarterback? That's exciting, too, Alex, because you'll probably be drafting that guy soon.
This year, next year.
Yeah, the heir apparent. So, all right. That's a good point. I might I think I got some Bucs cards here if you want to start with your man cave with Bucs memorabilia. Alex, congratulations on making your choice. I hope it's a good one.
Thank you. I do too.
Bone, you got to get out?
Yep, going to dig some holes.
All right. You're in Holes 2.
Yes.
The movie.
I'm tired, Grandpa.
And we need to take a break, so we'll do that. We'll come back. More Pirate Radio Live, hour number 1. We'll see you, Harp. We'll see you, Bone. And we'll see you folks after this.
I'm Morgan Ahlers here with Brian Cook. He's the comptroller with Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World. When you're looking for a vehicle, say if I wanted a new truck in a specific brand, you have the capability of searching the entire country for that vehicle.
Right, we do. We can find anything you want. We take pride in it. A lot of friends come to me and get me to look for the next vehicle they want, and I take pride in buying it just like I was buying it for myself.
Greenville Motor Company and the new Greenville Auto World, we will earn your trust and business one vehicle at a time. Go online at driveherenow.com.
At U.S. Cellular, we created an event called Us Days to celebrate our customers, like Gary here.
We get exclusive deals like $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet. It's a celebration so big, it feels like they wrote a hype song just for me.
Go, Gary! Go, Gary!
Celebrate Us Days at U.S. Cellular. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find a store near you. We go beyond the call.
Pirate fans, the East Carolina football season ticket campaign presented by Hamill Builders is underway. The Pirates are looking to build momentum off an 8-win season and that Military Bowl win over North Carolina State. Head coach Blake Harrell wants you to be a part of his first full season as the Pirate head coach. Season tickets can be purchased for as little as $115. Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com today to get your 2025 season tickets.
Eastern North Carolina's Bourbon Authority is Greenville's premier American-styled restaurant. The Rick House specializes in handcraft dishes, and our bar features the very best in bourbons like Parker's Heritage, Knob Creek, and Jefferson's.
Big changes are coming to the Rick House. A new menu is on the way with great food, and it's the perfect atmosphere for a night out.
Let the Rick House host your next big event in our 2,000-square-foot banquet hall. It's perfect for wedding rehearsals, graduations, and holiday parties. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road in Greenville.
Is your office printer on the fritz? Don't wait days for a repair. This is Walker Allen Volova with CopyPro, where we promise fast 3-hour service on all of your copy equipment. No need to press 1 for English for an overseas service line. All of our calls are answered right here in Greenville. Plus, we offer a free office printing analysis to help you cut cost and boost efficiency. We'll show you exactly how to save money on ink, toner, and energy. For reliable, fast service, call CopyPro today at 1-800-682-6558 and see how we can help your office run more efficiently. CopyPro, fast service, smarter printing, bringing more value to your business.
Are you a new real estate agent wondering how to get your first deal fast? ENC Pirate Realty Allen Tate is hiring, and we've got you covered. At ENC Pirate Realty Allen Tate, we help new agents hit the ground running with proven training programs, high-quality leads from multiple sources, no cold calls, just real opportunities, one-on-one coaching from our experienced team, and cutting-edge marketing and tech tools. Don't start your career alone. Join the ENC Pirate Realty Allen Tate team, a team that invests in you. Visit ENCPirateRealty.com and never worry about where your next deal is coming from. Go Pirates!
You've had your new computer a few years now, but lately it's been running super slow, acting strange, and you're worried about viruses and losing data.
This is driving me mad!
Let the experts at University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern professionally diagnose your Mac or PC to see what's really going on. They'll determine the root cause and not just symptoms, so you don't waste money fixing the wrong issues. Call 252-558-1280 for in-store or remote service, or make an appointment online at universitypccare.com.
Craving a delicious
delicious burger and a great deal? Then head on over to Bad Daddy's Burger Bar in Greenville. Every Monday, shake things up with $5 handshaking cocktails. On Rough Draft Tuesday, enjoy talls for smalls, where bigger drinks are the same price as the smalls. It's Whiny Wednesday with $3 pours of Barefoot wine. Then on Salty Thursdays, sip on a $4 house margarita. And don't miss Bloody Sunday. Enjoy brunch and $5 house Bloody Marys.
And this just in at Bad Daddy's, mention Pirate Radio for 15% off your meal.
Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. Great food, amazing deals, and a whole lot of flavor.
Pirate Radio.
I'll give you Blackbeard's honest opinion. You ask me, can this new captain promise you a life of prizes, plunder, and adventure? Aye.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Langley Contracting, they are the superior roofing specialists. Whether it's a new roof or repairing your old one, they've got you covered. And best of all, they handle your insurance claims. They are locally owned right here in Eastern North Carolina, and they are licensed and insured and have a 25-year roof warranty. They can handle your gutter installation too, so everything is seamless. Call or visit them online at 214roof.com for your free estimate today. Langley Contracting, your superior roofing specialists. And Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 36 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville and next to Sam's Club, or visit qualityequip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, back with you. Pirate Radio Live. Boy, what a dramatic moment we all were just a part of. I hope you folks out there understand the part of history that you just took part in.
It's one of the 3 biggest decisions a man can make. Who you marry, who gets your stuff when you die, and your NFL team.
There you go.
I made a poor decision in my NFL team, but I blame my grandfather.
Hopefully you make a better decision on your marriage partner and what Will puts in the will.
Most people don't.
Yeah, a lot of people get screwed over in that department.
Which department?
Both of them.
Like,
there's a lot of divorce out there, and there's a lot of times where you give stuff to people when you pass, and they do whatever they want with it, not how it was intended.
Bill Burr, which I think, is Bill Burr married now? I think he is.
I think so.
Before he was married, had the bit where he was like 50% of marriages in divorce. If you went skydiving and they told you 50% of the parachutes didn't work, like, would you be dying to run to get on that plane?
No.
So why is everybody wanting to get married? But yeah, good luck to you young people finding the special partner in your life. Will, if NFL teams were stock, what do you think of Alex's decision with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
It's one of the better ones.
Really?
I think so, because if I had to repick my NFL fandom, I would pick someone right in the middle. You know, not terrible, but also not a lock to make the conference championship game. So I feel like the Bucs, they're in a division where they can very well win the division and win a playoff game, or even go further than that. So they're not too far from being a contender.
Yesterday we said they were not a Super Bowl champion contender.
They are not.
But you're right. They're a
not
contender to host the playoff game every year. I feel like they're just kind of plateaued. Like, they're not, I don't think they're trending down necessarily, but I don't feel like they're trending up. I got some young talent, though, with Bucky and with McMillan to go with the vets, Godwin and Evans offensively.
And I think they're about to get more tonight as I do my final mock draft. Jahdae Barron on that defensive secondary, which I think is going to be big for them.
Will mock draft at 2.3. Logan, as a Panthers fan, generally speaking, you hate the Falcons and Saints more as a Panthers fan. How do you feel?
Well, it's like, I'm a fan of other sports teams with much fiercer rivalries. I mean, I don't really care for the Panthers rivalries. I mean, other Falcons fans can be annoying, but it's like, it's not like every time they play, it's like a bloodbath or anything.
If you were to drop the Panthers today, what NFL team who would be on your short list to root for?
Honestly, Baltimore's probably up there because Keaton lived on my hall.
Okay, you got a connection.
Yeah, but probably I do like Washington, and probably the Bills as well.
All right, I like hearing Washington on that list. Alex Harper, fan of the Bucks. Who knows? Maybe we could see Revel or Winston Wright or Rajay or Tay or Eli. Somebody jump on with the Bucks.
I am a little disappointed that the Miami Dolphins didn't make it farther.
The reason they didn't mostly is because Shirley is a fan.
Yeah.
And he did not want to pick a team that somebody around here rooted for.
Yeah.
But why would you say that?
I mean, it's a great location. Like, I know I mention this on the show every other day, but my roommate's from Miami, so I've heard a lot about Miami. I've seen a lot about Miami, and it's just a great place to be. And it's somewhere I would want to go. Like, if I were to watch a game, Hard Rock Stadium, I'd want to go there. It's just an attractive place. They have a good team. They have a great coach. It's just everything you want. And like I said, they're in that middle pack.
Their good team and their great coach is trending down more so than up. I like McDaniel, but like he needs to win this year.
And I think they'll contend in that division. They're not going to win it, and I don't know if they come within a game or two, but they're going to contend for a while. And I think they were a Tua injury away from doing that last year. I feel like that injury early in the season where they were playing 3 to 4 games without a quarterback, that really hurt them. And I think they could have been way better last year.
Jamie says Bucks mid-draft pick, mid-league team, but better than enough teams. They are kind of they're on the right side of mediocre, I would say.
That's kind of what I mean. You want a team where you can be a fan. Room for growth. You can live with the ups, die with the downs, and I feel like the Bucks are perfect for that.
Recent Super Bowl as well.
Sure, I mean Brady era had to be great for Bucks fans,
and it's not like you can't say you don't have history.
And Baker's very easy to root for. They got a lot of things going for them.
Yeah,
the unis, the stadium, like all that location. Yeah.
Early on, the 3 teams I said I think would be great for Harp were the Bucks, the Dolphins, and the Falcons.
All right, there you go. Let's get a little bit of our New Blue report in because we were out there yesterday, we being the Pirate Radio team, talking to John David Baker and Josh Aldridge. Let's hit a little John David Baker as the spring game, 2 days from now. He was asked what he's most happy about going into week 5 of spring ball, cut 1.
I think just being able to look out there and see the difference from this time last year as far as just how much cleaner everything is. And obviously it's because, obviously second year in the system, we got guys returning, those type of things. But I just feel like we're so much farther ahead, and not so much that we're doing a bunch of different things offensively, but just we're so much farther ahead in the basics and fundamentals of what we're trying to do and want to do. So that's probably the thing I'm just happiest about, because it'll just allow us to continue to grow over the summer and into fall camp.
John David Baker also asked, what is he looking to improve upon? Cut 2.
Yeah, I think we just got to be more consistent. When the lights come on, certain, whatever it is, a situational scrimmage or period of practice or, a scrimmage in the stadium, those times, you see them do it all week in practice and out on the practice field. Well, nothing should change when we step inside the stadium. And so just from a consistency standpoint, I think our guys got to just understand that we got a chance to be really good and we're really talented. But if we don't pay attention to the details and lock into those certain things, this is the most humbling game there is. And if you don't do those things, you can become average really quick. And those are things that we've got to battle, because our guys know how good we can be, and I think you got to fight some of that just complacency, and it's easy to let your foot off the gas in certain situations when or you think that you can be pretty good. And so We don't want to be good. We want to be great, and you got to be great every single day. And so just consistency as a whole is the thing that I think we got to continue to get better at.
Fans want to see some offense on Saturday. They also want a healthy Caden Hauser come fall. With that in mind, John David Baker was asked about Caden's progress and also if he will see reps this Saturday. Cut 3.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's been nice. 2 months ago, I don't think any of us really thought he'd have any reps this spring. We didn't think he'd be close enough for it to be even worth it, but he was so ahead of schedule as far as just his rehab and stuff. So being able to get any reps at all has been a win already. We'll see about how Saturday goes. I think the biggest thing for him is it's been nice for him to kind of shake the rust off now instead of him trying to do it over the summer or fall camp, and that's the thing that I'm most grateful for, probably more than anybody. But it's just been good to have him back out there, and he'll be the first to tell you, he missed a couple throws a day that he's going to be pissed about all night. I'm like, dude, it's April 22nd. We'll be fine. But, that's him. He's competitive, and we just got to continue to shake the rust off, and he'll be great going forward.
All right. We have, just looking at the quarterback eras here at East Carolina, and I'll go back to Skip and the conference championships. We had the Patrick Pinckney era for a while there, and those teams were largely carried by Coach Hudd's defense. We'll talk to Greg Hudson later, but had some offensive weapons in there, certainly, Dwayne Harris and others. But you had Pinckney here for a while. That went to 2 years of Dominique Davis, who recently announced his retirement in the CFL. But Dominique was a really good quarterback here, put up tons of numbers in his 2 years at East Carolina, and that flowed into, we had a brief Rio Johnson pit stop, but then we got into the Shane Carden era shortly after that, and we didn't question who the quarterback was for 2 3/4 of a year. Shane was awesome here, obviously. Then it got a little hairy with Kemp Summers year, and then you threw in your Minshew and Philip Nelson and Thomas Sirk, and that was 3 or 4 years of kind of questioning what do we have at quarterback. That got us into the Holton Ahlers era, and we know he was here a long time, and we didn't really wonder who our quarterback was going to be. And then since then, we have had question marks at that position, especially with the Garcia Flynn, and then on into last year with Hauser and Garcia. So I guess the point of this is, and I'll ask you, Will and Logan, how do y'all feel about it? Is a comfortable feeling knowing who the starter is going to be, you know what I'm saying? And knowing that guy's put up numbers before for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the quarterback is the most important position on the field, and the team kind of starts and stops with them. So having someone that that's going to be, there, that's going to perform, and that's going to be able to at least have a good chance of winning you games, that's very important. And I would say not a lot of teams have that. There are a lot of teams around the country, especially like Michigan. They don't even have that. Especially now, yeah.
And look, don't get me wrong. I love a quarterback battle. It's fun for us to talk about. It's fun for us to speculate on. And look, even when Holton was here, I was ready to see a different quarterback. Not because I didn't like Holton Ahlers as quarterback, but, it's just fun to see something new after 4 or 5 years. And again, I wasn't wishing for Holton to leave. I knew it was a be careful what you wish for thing, because I didn't think Mason Garcia was going to be as good as Holton Ahlers. I'd hoped he would. That would have been great, but clearly he wasn't. But having said that, after a couple of years of quarterback battles and controversies or whatever, it is nice to know who the guy's going to be and that guy can be productive. Logan, how do you feel about Caden Hauser heading into year 2 here?
I love him. I mean, I think from last year, what I had seen, I had watched a little bit of his highlights, at Michigan State, whether it was spring ball over there. I mean, he didn't get a ton of playing time, but I was like, we should probably start this guy, because I just felt like he knew the game better. But I'm a strong believer in John Madden's quote of, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. So it's I think it's great that we have our guy.
There's no splitting reps. There's no questions. There's no looking over their shoulder. So, yeah.
It makes things easier on the coaching staff as a whole, too, because, like you said, there's no questions. You're not getting questioned after every practice, who's the starter this week. Though, it makes it way easier to manage your team that way. And even when Katon Hauser was at Michigan State, he was in a little bit of that, too. I forget the other quarterback's name, but I saw him as an Ohio State fan. I watched a little bit of Michigan State one weekend, and I saw him. I'm like, this guy's pretty good. And then they ended up going with the other guy, and it was just like when we got him in the portal, I was like, that's a guy that's going to compete for it, and I think he could win it, and I thought he should have as well.
It's good for the QBs. It's good for Anthony Smith and Yannick Smith and the receivers that they know who their guy's going to be.
Who had good years last year. Anthony Smith was our primary deep ball guy, and later in the season, when Chase Sowell was dealing with some injuries, you saw Yannick Smith kind of emerge. I don't know if he's still in that class, but I had a class with him, and you can see his personality. He's a guy that people like to be around. So that's a type of guy you want around a quarterback, and they're going to benefit from each other.
All right, that is our new blue Pirate Report. We'll have more from John David Baker and Josh Aldridge later on in our show. You can see our ECU football coverage for yourself at Pirate Radio TV on YouTube. The technicians at New Blue stand ready to face any challenge that time or the elements may throw at your home. Your home deserves the best. New Blue is ready to help with any electrical, plumbing, and HVAC needs. Contact them today at callinublu.com. Callinublu.com. New Blue Service Group, redefining service excellence. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Jeff Nadu joins us live. If you got a draft question about your team, you can get it into YouTube. We'll talk to Nadu. We'll talk to Holton Ahlers coming up hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live after this.
Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is announcing the Freedom of Choice pricing program. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has incentives up to $11,000 on Ram trucks, or you can choose employee pricing on a new Ram. Choose savings up to $9,000 on a new Jeep or employee pricing. It's Freedom of Choice pricing for a limited time in Washington. Visit WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com and go see Kyle Gaines and the great staff on Highway 264 in Washington. Drive a little, save a lot.
At Langley Contracting, we're superior roofing specialists. Whether it's a new roof or repairing your old one, we've got you covered. And best of all, we handle your insurance claims. We are locally owned right here in Eastern Carolina. We are licensed and insured and have a 25-year roof warranty. We can handle your gutter installation too, so everything is seamless. Call or visit us online at 214roof.com for your free estimate today.
Langley Contracting, your superior roofing specialist.
This summer, the Greenville Yard Gnomes are back at historic Guy Smith Stadium.
Hey there, it's me, Nomeo, the Yard Gnomes mascot. You've heard of gnomes bringing good luck, right? Well, I'm here to bring you great baseball and tons of fun, too. We're excited to have a great team, including a few ECU baseball players this year.
Season tickets are on sale now, so visit yardgnomesbaseball.com to get yours today.
We'll have great food, cold drinks, and fun games for everyone. Come out and hang with your gnomies this summer and have some fun at the ballpark with us, the Greenville Yard Gnomes.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates!
Hey there, Eastern North Carolina, Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. The Brown & Wood service specials include a tire price match guarantee, a $199 AC Delco front brake pad installation special. We also have a brake rotor rebate of $40. and a synthetic oil change on most vehicles for $89.95. Don't forget, free pickup and drop-off at Brown and Wood. 89 years in business, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Jimmy John's hot sandwiches are here.
Jimmy John's hot sandwiches are here.
Hot sandwiches are Jimmy John's hot sandwiches are here.
Hot sandwiches are here. The pilot can't steer?
No, Jimmy John's hot sandwiches are here.
That's worse.
Jimmy John's new hot sandwiches are finally here.
Get ready for a crispier, crunchier, meltier, gooier Jimmy John's experience. Toasted sandwiches are here. Try the brand new toasted category or get any sandwich in the favorites category toasted to golden perfection. Jimmy John's in Greenville and Wilson and online at jimmyjohns.com. Go Pirates!
A quick getaway to paradise is as easy as breezing into 34 Degrees North restaurant at the Beaufort Hotel. Enjoy coastal Carolina cuisine featuring fresh local seafood or savor their hand-cut steaks. It's the premier dining destination on the Crystal Coast. The waterfront restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, dinner, and their popular weekend brunch. 34 Degrees North restaurant in Beaufort is open daily. Visit their website, 34degreesnorthrestaurant.com, or call 252-838-7250. 34 Degrees North restaurant at the Beaufort Hotel.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. America's favorite light beer is also the official beer of the Pirates. Bud Light. When planning your fun times with family and friends, be sure to pick up some Bud Light at your favorite retailer. Always have fun, Pirate Nation, and always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. NFL Draft Night. We got Jeff Nadu joining us. Let me introduce Nadu, and then I'll tell you how we're going to format this segment. Jeff, how you doing today, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Fired up for tonight. So here's what we're going to do. This a little bit selfish, but it's also going to be informative. I have a 30-question NFL draft prop sheet to fill out for my draft party that I'm going to tonight. I'm not going to ask you every question on this list, Jeff, but I'm going to ask kind of the important ones, the interesting ones for folks. So I'm going to go through some of these questions. You can give your thoughts on it from an NFL or gambling perspective. We'll let Will throw any questions or comments he has. Logan, you as well, if you got anything. Got a Panthers fan, a Giants fan here, Nadu. And then at the end, if you have any props you really like, you can that we haven't discussed, you can hit on those. So let's go and get started, Jeff. This would be question number 5 on the sheet here. Which team will draft Ashton Jeanty in round 1? Your 3 options are Jacksonville, Las Vegas, or any other team. Where do you think the talented Boise running back goes tonight, Jeff?
Well, I think at this stage, I think it would be pretty clear that he's probably going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I wouldn't make that selection personally, but I think the Jags realize that they believe he's a generational talent. I think a lot of groups have seen, you look at what adding a great running back can do for you. All of a sudden, over the last year or two, you can win a Super Bowl if you have a great running back. Look at what the Eagles did. Do I think a running back is something I would select top 10? Not really. I think he has to be generational. Is he that? He did it against a lot of Mountain West type teams. But I think they will select him. I think it's either him or Ted McMillan, personally. I would look more receiver, but I believe that it'll be the Jags. And I think if it's not them, it's the Oakland Raiders or the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, Jarrett not here. He's out at football at the groundbreaking of an ECU football indoor practice facility. But he I don't know if he necessarily won't. I don't think Genty will be there at 6 when the Raiders pick, but he's certainly interested in the prospect. All right, question 2 here for you, Jeff. And looking at mocks, this one seems obvious, but maybe I'm missing something. I'll get your take on it. Which team will draft Tyler Warren? Your options are New Orleans or Chicago. So that's A. You got the Saints and Bears. Choice B would be Jets or Colts. Choice C would be any other team. So would you go A, Saints, Bears, B, Jets, Colts, C, any other team for Tyler Warren? What happens to the all-world Penn State tight end?
I think what's really interesting about Tyler Warren at this stage, Clip, is the thought that he's not going to be the first tight end chosen.
Talked about that with you last week, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of market at this point that Holton Loveland's going to be the guy in the top 10, and Warren's going to maybe fall back to 14. I would probably say the Colts at this point. I think that's a match made in heaven. But Colston Loveland's really moved up the board. I think they're very similar players overall. But at the end of the day, I think Loveland's just gotten a little bit more late push. At the end of the day, they're both top 15 picks, and they're both going to go in that general area. To answer your question, I would say the Colts.
All right.
That makes a ton of sense.
They do. I'm interested in Amarion Hampton from North Carolina. Played his high school football here in the state, his college football in Chapel Hill. And after Genty, he's looked at, I think, as the best running back, right? So which team will draft Hampton, the Tar Heel running back? Option A is Steelers, Cowboys, one of those. Option B, Broncos, Bengals. Or option C, any other team. So do you go Steelers, boys, Bengals, Broncos, or any other team? Seeing a lot of Broncos with Hampton. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that could be an option, but I have him mocked to Dallas at 12.
Ooh.
I think that makes a lot of sense. You look at I think if you're Jerry Jones, you have to look at that team in your division and say, Philadelphia Eagles, who we hate, went out and won a Super Bowl. They got a big-time running back. Who's the running back in Dallas, Clip? Rico Dowdy?
Dowdell, yeah.
What are we doing here? I mean, Ezekiel Elliott got carries last year. I think it's time to go out and get a home run hitter. Hampton is really the best running back in the country, not Ashton Genty, who is, as we know, a generational college player. So I think Hampton makes a lot of sense. I'll actually relate this to one of my favorite props in the draft, which I'll get to in a second. But, yeah, I think it's Dallas. I think that makes a lot of sense.
All right, Nadu, I'll ask you a few more here on the prop sheet. Which team will draft Shadur Sanders in this year's draft? And the mocks have him all over the place. Option A would be Saints or Giants. Option B would be Steelers or Browns. Option C, any other team. So you think Saints, Giants, Steelers, Browns, or somebody else? What about Dion's kid?
I have a conspiracy theory for this, Clip, and I'm going to tell you about it.
All right.
Option B is the best. And if I could bet this, either the Steelers or the Cleveland Browns, I would bet a decent amount of money on that. I don't think it's the Steelers. I think it'll be the Browns, and I think it'll be that first pick in the second round. I think we have to make it clear and understand there's one quarterback in this draft that's first-round worthy. It's just the truth. I know a lot of people will say, well, should there this, should there that. Very few GMs, I think, will tell you that he's a first-round talent. This is just not a particularly good draft for quarterbacks. Cliff, doesn't it make a lot of sense? Cleveland, they already have Travis Hunter, who I believe they're going to take. And guess what you're going to hear the next 6 months? Is Dion going to leave Colorado? I mean, it's all about storylines in this league, isn't it?
I like Nadu's conspiracy board. Will, you had a reaction to Nadu saying Shadur to Cleveland. What was that about?
I have the same conspiracy, just done in a different way. I think they trade up to number 7 with the Jets, and I think they pick them there, and I think the Jets trade out of the first round.
So either way, it ends up with a Colorado connection in Cleveland.
It's a tackle-deep draft, and I think the Jets can get a good tackle or guard that can play tackle in the beginning of the second round.
All right, let me see if we got any more on the board here before we move on. Let's go. There was a Jackson Dart question in here, Jeff, and I'll throw that one out there to you. Which team will draft Jackson Dart? Will it be the Giants or Steelers? That would be A. The Saints or Browns? I guess we're going to take the Browns off the board if we think they're getting Shadur, or any other team. So do you think it'll be the Giants or Steelers, A, the Saints, B, or any other team for Jackson Dart?
I think Giants and Steelers make a lot of sense. We talked last week about, look, they're not going to take a quarterback overall in the top 5, as we know, but I think the Giants, they have an early second-round pick. I think addressing that position with a player that doesn't need to come in and start right away is where you got to go. I also think the Steelers, if they don't do it in the first round, I could see them do it in the second or third round. I like Dart. I think you can make a strong case that, if there's a quarterback that you kind of like that's not Sanders or Ward, it's clearly Dart. But, again, I think the concern, if you bet the over 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round, you have concerns on both sides. If you don't think it's going to happen, your concern is a team will trade into the first round with, let's say, the Philadelphia Eagles and take a quarterback. I guess the hope is that they just kind of assume we can get these guys in the second round, and both those teams are pretty early on in the second round.
Jeff, we have not talked receivers, so how about this? Number of receivers drafted in round 1, over, under 4.5.
Wow. That to me is high. I mean, I have 3, possibly 2.
Oh, wow.
I think at the end of the day, I mean, McMillan's a lock, Gold's a lock. I mean, I don't know if there's any other locks to me. Maybe you could say Buka. I've seen some locks with him there, but yeah, I'm gonna venture to believe. Look, I think the concern with that bet is generally the thought of, well, you can never have enough receivers, but I think teams have more pressing needs. I think there are 2 personally, and the thing is, but a team that may take a receiver maybe just says, you know what, we'll take a Mason Taylor who we kind of like to be able to block and play tight end as well.
Oh, by the way, I guess this is on the assumption, obviously, that Hunter is not a receiver as well. I need to clarify that with the pool owner here.
He's never going to be mocked as a receiver.
Right, yeah. All right, one more for you, Jeff. Hopefully, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but hopefully you got your mock in front of you, or maybe you already know the answer. How will the offensive and defensive players split in round 1? And on this, he says Hunter counts for both sides, so he's kind of a throwaway. But will it be more offensive players drafted or defensive players drafted in the first round?
I would say defensive. I think this is a pretty strong front-loaded defensive line group. There's some really good defensive tackles in this group, really good edges. There's 5 or 6 really good edges. I think there's some really good safeties and corners as well. Even look at like guys like Maxwell Hairston, Nick Unamori, like all those guys could sneak into the first round. I actually, one of my favorite plays is under 6.5 offensive linemen. I don't think this is an incredibly strong offensive line group. I think there's probably 3 or 4 really good ones that are first rounders, and then I think it's really a crapshoot. You really have to hope like the Eagles take an offensive lineman, or a team like, I don't know, Detroit or someone like that. So yeah, I would say defensive players over offensive.
Hey, thank you for helping me out, and we gave some folks info along the way. I want to get some quick questions in here. Jamie, you might need to specify. He says, what position will you be mad at if your team picks in the first round? A realistic pick they may make. Are you asking Nadu as an Eagles fan? Or are you saying generally speaking? Could you clarify that question, Jamie? And we'll get back to you. Will, do you got anything for Nadu real quick?
So, yeah, I envision the Giants picking Abdul Carter at 3. Me and apparently Peter Schrager agree that we're going to trade with the Seahawks at 18 back into the first round to get Jackson Dart. I know you said we could probably get him with the 34th pick at the start of the second round, but what are your thoughts on if the Giants traded back into the first round to get both of them early?
I just don't foresee it being I don't foresee a reason to do that. I think if there is a quarterback taken in the final, let's say 10 picks, I think it's probably Shedeur Sanders. So if your guy is Dart, I think you could surely get him in the second round, particularly early. It's the second pick in the second round. I think sometimes we just assume there's going to be tons of trades. Again, I don't think there's a lot of GMs out there that believe there's more than one first-round talent in this draft. I mean, Shedeur is kind of plummeted. I haven't really seen one mock other than the one you just said where Dart's even been mocked in the first round. So, yeah, I don't think that's necessary. Giving away capital, especially nowadays where there's so many good players. I mean, I've always been in the thought of you have to take best player available, and I just don't think that out of the 32 picks, there's more than one best player available that would be a quarterback.
All right. Jamie was asking all around, Will, what position would you be mad at if the Giants picked this position in the first round?
At number 3, quarterback, because I think Abdul Carter has potential to be a generational pass rusher, and maybe that's just my Giants bias thinking we're going to pick him. But you can get a quarterback in the second round, or on the off chance that we do trade back into the first round, you can get him there. There's no need to take a quarterback at 3.
Logan, the Panthers have needs. Seems like they have focused more on the defensive side of the ball than offense this offseason, but is there like a position they pick in the first round where you'd say, why the hell did they do that?
Well, I mean, obviously if they picked a quarterback, that would be really dumb.
Yeah.
I can't say there's a position that I'm unhappy with them picking, because there's really no like linebackers that are like supposed to go that high. I mean, I guess if they picked like a linebacker, that would be stupid.
Right.
But just someone good. I don't care.
Get some help for Bryce. All right, Will, you got one more for Jeff?
Yeah, so I have guys like Jihad Campbell and Walter Nolan falling out of the first round. I don't know how widely, revered they are as first rounders, but who are some guys that you think that are non-quarterbacks that could fall out of the first round this year?
Well, I think obviously you have to look at the character concerns. Obviously, one of them is Mike Green. I think, and I talked about this on another show recently, it's how much do you put stock in allegations of which there was no civil or criminal case against that individual. So it's basically just hearsay. And because Mike Green is who he is, it was put out there. If this were you and me, I mean, no one would know. And to me, I've always wavered in the belief that if you do good from a security standpoint, you can sniff that stuff out. Now, it's a different story if it was an ongoing case. Obviously, I think that makes sense. But it's really how these teams value that. Some teams aren't going to even look at it. Some teams are going to say, well, I think outside of Abdul Carter, I think you can make a strong case. Mike Green is one of the better edges in this draft. I mean, he is really talented, put up some big-time numbers. I think he's the guy that you could see dropping. You look at a guy like James Pierce. There hasn't necessarily been character concerns, but you're always going to hear this stupid phrase of, well, we don't know how much he loves football. And it's like, again, with so many different things nowadays, look, there are plenty of guys in the NFL that love other things. They don't, the whole, these old school guys where you have to, everything you do has to surround with carrying a football everywhere you go. People have other interests. Just because the guy maybe has a different kind of attitude than maybe someone else. James Pierce's numbers speak for himself. This is a guy who is the fastest off the edge pass rusher in this draft. I mean, his 40 time is insane. His cone stuff was insane. Matter of fact, I don't think he ran the 40. I think it was more cone stuff, but his get off is crazy. So I think you'll hear that kind of stuff. But the Nolan one, I've heard that about him as well. He doesn't love football. Maybe he can get a little out of shape, but all in all, I put those out of my mind a lot of the time.
Will, we're about out of time, but you're on a roll, so I'm going to give you one more.
I just have one comment. As someone who saw James Pierce in high school, he went to Chambers High School in Charlotte. I'm from that area. He, in person, is one of the craziest athletes I've ever seen, and I think he is going to fall out of the first round, but whoever gets him is getting a legitimate, franchise-moving piece on that defensive line.
All right.
Just throw one thought out. Panthers just need to go best player available. I would go with some sort of pass rusher. But look, could you take Loveland? I mean, they need weapons, man. I mean, is Tommy Tremble your answer? I don't know. They need everywhere. As long as they don't take a punter, I think you'd be good.
Jeff, one ECU note, we've talked a little Savone Revel to you. I think you've got him outside of round 1, but do you mock into round 2? Do you got Revel going pretty early, mid-round 2? Where you got him?
Yeah, I could see maybe a team just liking. I mean, I've heard a lot of people that really like him. I could see a situation where, maybe late in the first round, a team takes him. I could see maybe a Commanders, a Buffalo Bills. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I think he's probably pretty early in the second round, maybe before 40. I'll throw this out quickly to your people. I think the best prop in this draft, over 2.5 running backs. You could still get it at plus money. Ginty's a lock. I think Hampton's a lock. I think Travion Henderson's a first-round pick as well. There's a bunch of teams towards the bottom of the first round. I'm looking at either possibly the Broncos if they don't take if Hampton's already off the board. I could see a situation where even the Kansas City Chiefs, they need to get some skill position players. I think they have 3 in the first round.
Will, you got 2 Buckeye running backs? Are they both in this draft? Henderson, and who's the other one?
Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah, Judkins.
Spent most of his time at Ole Miss.
Gotcha. All right, man, Nadu, that was awesome, man. That was a lot of fun. Good luck tonight. Follow Jeff on X at Jeff Nadu, and good luck, Nadu. Enjoyed the chat, man.
Thanks, guys. Always good talking to you.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Will, good questions, good input. Enjoyed that. I still got a lot to fill out. Will, I'm going to let you take a gander at this and maybe help me out with a few. And I might ask you some more on the air later on. But enjoyed that. Ready for tonight's draft. We'll take a break, come back. Holton Ahlers will join us. We'll get a Renegades update, talk New York Knicks, and get his thoughts on tonight's draft, where his former teammates could be landing at their next stop and their first stop in pro football. Holton joins us after this.
This spring, be a part of something truly inspiring. Join us for our A Season of Hope fundraising banquet Thursday, May 8th from 6:30 to 9 at the Elegant Rock Springs Center in Greenville. Enjoy a plated dinner and hear powerful stories of resilience from special guests CJ Wilson and our keynote speaker, Daryl Strawberry.
This event will support the Building Hope Community Life Center in Greenville. Support the mission, share the hope. Reserve your seat today at buildinghopenc.org/banquet.
Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is announcing the Freedom of Choice pricing program. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has incentives up to $11,000 on Ram trucks, or you can choose employee pricing on a new Ram. Choose savings up to $9,000 on a new Jeep or employee pricing. It's Freedom of Choice pricing for a limited time in Washington. Visit WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com and go see Kyle Gaines and the great staff on Highway 264 in Washington. Drive a little, save a lot.
This is proud ECU alumni David Price of David Price Construction. As a leading general contracting firm, we specialize in commercial construction and renovation. Whether it's updating your office space, renovating your restaurant, or building a new retail store, our team at David Price Construction is ready to assist. We are committed to delivering quality, value, and customer satisfaction across all of our projects. So give us a call at 919-820-3612 or find us online at davidpriceconstruction.com. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Jacob Sauls with EliteTruck.com, Eastern North Carolina's premier choice in commercial truck and van equipment. Come join us in downtown Little Washington on May 10th for our first ever Elite Truck Fest, which will include a truck meet competition, raffles, live music, food, and other family-friendly activities. All proceeds from this event will be going towards supporting Beaufort County high schoolers gain valuable apprenticeship experience in their desired trade. Visit EliteTruck.com for more information.
Are you thinking about purchasing a new home? Stop by and see us at Integrity Home Mortgage at our new location in Greenville at 1420 Arlington Boulevard. This is Talbot Green at Integrity Home Mortgage. We offer a wide variety of loan programs to help get you pre-approved. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir has over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with superior customer service you deserve.
To get started, call me, Joanne Weir, at 531-1148.
Joanne Weir in MLS 75974. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender in MLS 208516.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's Hot Dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for $7.50 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
Welcome to Russell's Spring Style. Our screen door shouts welcome to a beautiful selection of new apparel for men and women. The spring colors are bold and beautiful, just in time for vacation and Easter. Men, make your next suit or sports coat purchase easy with in-house alterations to assure a great fit. Ladies, it's Russell's for the best selection in dresses, tops, and slacks for most any occasion. Rhonda and her team work hard to make Russell's in downtown Washington your shopping shopping destination. It's all about you, our pirate friends and customers at Russell's in downtown Washington.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
This is John David Baker, offense coordinator for the ECU Pirates, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Where do you find the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Eastern North Carolina? DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com is a combination of Greenville Auto World and Greenville Motor Company, and is fully stocked with an inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Get shopping today at DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com, supporting the Pirates for over 48 years. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Will, a question I want you to think about, and I'll get your answer later in the show. I saw it on Reddit. Who will be this year's Kyron Williams and Bucky Irving? So maybe not the first or second running back taken off the board, but has a really, really good year.
I have my answer for that right now.
Well, you know what? Why wait? Who do you got?
Caleb Johnson of Iowa.
Okay.
If he gets put in a system like he was in Iowa, where the O-line's really good, and he gets the requisite amount of carries, he's going to be really good. He's got the talent. He's great at his jump cuts are one of the better in the class, I think, and he's got the size too. So,
all right. Will's excitement for and knowledge of this draft, the conversation with Nadu, this prop sheet for my draft party has me fired up. So I'm ready to go.
It's one of my favorite times of the year.
We'll talk some draft and more with Holton Ahlers, who joins us on the Pirate Radio Live line. What's up, Holt?
Cliff, what's up, man?
I'm excited. A lot to talk about with you today, Holton. And I've really enjoyed this week talking to former Pirates about their draft memories. And that goes from Justin Hardy, who we talked to on Monday, who said he was told he'd be picked anywhere from the second round to the fourth round, went to the fourth round with the Falcons, and boy, landed in a great spot. He's in a room with Julio Jones and Roddy White and talking to Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan, and said he really enjoyed his time in Atlanta. And then the next day we talked to Bryce Williams. He was told by the Panthers it would either be him or a kicker or a punter, him or a punter in round 7, and then they take a different tight end. So he's still bitter to this day about the Carolina Panthers. He ends up in a room with Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski up in New England at training camp, and kicked around a few other places. And then on Wednesday, we talked to Rajay Harris, who's in a spot where he said, hey, holding out hope he could be a draft pick, but likely looking at a rookie free agent deal, which is what you are familiar with as well. So let's get your story, Holt, and what you remember about this time. Going into the draft, what were you being told? Were you expected to be taken 5th, 6th, 7th round? Did you think rookie free agent? Like, how did you feel going into Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, it's stressful, Cliff. You go through it, and you hear so many different things, and, you also – I went into it and was like, look, I'm going to expect to be undrafted. I was told 5 through 7, but anytime you're told 5 through 7, it's pretty much 5 through undrafted. And then in my class, my draft class, there was, I think, 12 or 13 quarterbacks taken, and multiple teams would tell my agent, tell me, look, you would be you're our 9th guy on the board. You're the 9th guy on the board. So then when these quarterbacks are starting to get taken, I'm like, all right, sweet, man. I got a chance to get drafted because there's 9 quarterbacks already gone. So it's just one of those periods. I think the closest I got to getting drafted, and I've been told this by the head scout of the Chargers, that the 7th round came and they were going to take a quarterback, and it was pretty much on their board left was me and Max Duggan, and they ended up taking Max Duggan. And I was told specifically by this scout that he fought for me to be the draft pick, but their GM, you know, and people above him wanted Duggan. So Duggan's in the same league I'm in now. It didn't work out for, you know, either. I mean, it didn't work out for him, but, you know, long term, I guess. But yeah, man, it's a stressful time. It really is, but, you know, it's a fun time, too. I was literally just texting with some of the guys. I was like, oh, dude, just enjoy it. And, you know, you got to keep faith. Your rookie year is so tough with mental battles, especially as a late-round draft pick or, you know, an undrafted guy. Like, you got to make the most of your opportunity, but you also got to go be yourself. You can't go play nervous. Like, I was literally just talking to Big Tay about just, like, going in there and just being himself and believing that he's supposed to be there, and those are the guys that actually stick around. Same with Rajay, too. Like, those guys have the ability to be there. Just when you're a late-round guy, you got to go in there and show it, be yourself immediately, because, like, they know they have the talent. They know they have the mental makeup. But, I mean, it is intimidating walking to an NFL locker room and saying, I could get cut at any moment. There's a lot of guys more secure than I am, but you can't think that way. You don't have the time to think that way. So there's a lot of mental battles that go on, and the ones who master are the ones who stick.
Holton Ahlers joining us. Good stuff there, Holt. Why Seattle? I think Bryce Williams, if he does have one regret, said that he didn't have, I guess, the best advice or people telling him what he should do in the situation. He said he, instead of kind of taking maybe the first best offer, said, hey, I'm getting calls. I'm going to just keep fielding calls from teams, and said maybe he could have had a better landing spot if he had better advice. So how about you? How many options did you have, and how did it end up being Seattle after the draft?
Yeah, it was kind of, I mean, I kind of agree with him. It's weird because, like, you start getting calls before the draft ends of saying, like, hey, if you go undrafted, we're going to give you a contract. This is what we'll give you sign-in bonus. And I had bigger offers signing bonus-wise. Probably wasn't the best situation. One team that I would say is like the Lions. They drafted Hendon Hooker, but he was hurt.
Yeah.
They needed a guy to come in and be the 3 during preseason, and we're very open. Like, look, we'll give you a big signing bonus, but we're probably going to cut you because we already have our third-string quarterback once he's healthy. So, like, that was a situation where I want to decide, okay, do I want to just get into a place and get a massive sign-in bonus up front? Or, like, Seattle was one where they didn't have a third-string quarterback. My list going into it, like, you make a list with your agent, at least I did, and said, okay, what is my most ideal situation? I remember for me, it was a legit shot to, like, win the 3 job. And there was, like, I think 9 teams that didn't have a third-string quarterback on the roster at the time. And weirdly enough, Seattle was one of them, and I didn't even really notice it until the time came when Pete Carroll called me, or their head scout actually called me. I met him at the Hula Bowl one time, and that was the only time I talked to Seattle. And then I'm sitting there on draft night, and like you said, like Bryce was said, like I was getting calls, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait out on certain calls. Pittsburgh called, and I said, yeah, I'm going to wait out. Pittsburgh was another team that had 2 quarterbacks, and then I was getting offered, you know, a lot of money on one spot. So then we called Pittsburgh back and said, hey, can we get, you know, more money here? Because we like that situation. And by the time we called back, yeah, you're taking too long. We're moving on. Like, oh,
yeah.
crap, what do I do now? So then once Seattle called, it was like, yeah, the Lions situation would have been cool because Coach Mo was there and just familiarity there. But I wanted a place that I could try to at least win the 3 job. And Seattle was one where it was like, okay, out of all those teams, that was probably the least of the 9 that I thought I would have went to, but it just fell the way that it did. And talked to Pete Carroll literally that night and said, yeah, I'm coming. I'll make the most of it. So
yeah, that's funny, Holton, because that was what Bryce said. And it's probably different tight end to quarterback. There's just only so many spots, more spots for a tight end than a quarterback. And Bryce said he gave him the hang on, I'll let you know, or give me a call back. And no, if you say that, your spot's being taken, and the chances and the choices keep dwindling down. Holton, looking back on it, man, obviously you wanted to win that 3 and then back up and then eventually be a starter. But I got to say, damn, it was fun watching you play preseason football for the Seattle Seahawks. Like, looking back, I'm sure you wished it went better, but do you look back on it positively, your time there in Seattle?
Oh, dude, yeah, I loved it. And honestly, I felt like I played good enough in the preseason to get the job, and I did. I mean, I was on the practice squad for a few weeks, and then we had 4 starting offensive linemen get hurt, and, like, those are different situations where, like, I mean, Cliff, I know you know the situation with, like, the numbers and stuff, but when you're on the practice squad, they literally just have to sign people to, like, it's just a numbers game.
Right.
Like, when the GM would meet with me, he'd be like, look, we love you. We have a plan for you, but we have to cut you for now. So it's just like, that's when it gets kind of, you know, annoying. And I was talking about, like, the mental battle of your first year is just being like, okay, well, I'm good enough, but not good enough for you guys to keep me because you got to bring it. You know what I mean? So it's just like a weird situation there, and that's just what you got to deal with until you get kind of solidified there. But no, I don't have any regrets. I felt like I at least showed what I could do. I don't think I played, you know, the best possibly I could have played, but I showed during practice and during the preseason, like, sparks of what I could have done. And then, like I said, you know, I'm still in the UFL. Hopefully I can eventually get back into the preseason because I feel like I have so much knowledge now and belief and understanding of pro ball that if I did get ever shot, I really do feel like I'd capitalize on it 100%.
Holton Ahlers joining us. Holt, how's life with the Arlington Renegades? Give us a UFL update.
It was good. I practicing every day, hoping to get a shot soon. We had Zay Winstead. Actually, I'll plug it real quick. We have Zay Winstead interview dropping tomorrow on the Holton Ahlers Show podcast, and he talked about his draft experience too, Clip, but you should get him on sometime and listen to it. It's actually very wild. I don't know if you remember when he didn't get signed or drafted, and posted his clips and went viral and all that. So that was a really good interview.
Yeah, the viral highlight tape got him, and he stayed on for a while there with the Niners throughout the season, right?
With him for a year.
Yeah,
he's with him like week 16. So that was a really cool interview. And the other reason I came up is because, you know, obviously he's on my team, and here with the Renegades, he's been balling. So he'll definitely get an NFL shot this year, and hopefully I can, you know, get in. Because I feel like once I get in this league, I will. You know, it's built for like a mobile quarterback who can move around with his legs and make plays, and I feel like I'm perfect for that. So hoping to get a chance soon, though.
Holton, while we're on the topic of QBs and mobility and making plays, man, we had this discussion a lot with you last year. This is the first time I'm bringing it up this year, I think. Who are your favorite guys or guy at the QB position in this year's NFL draft? You got Cam, looks like he's going to go first overall to the Titans. Shadur Sanders could go anywhere from early to round 2. Jackson Dart's name has been popping up. Anybody else on your board? Who's Holton Ahlers like out of this group?
I really like Cam Ward. And before you call me a bandwagon, this is going to be the number 1 overall pick. I've been calling that for about a year now. Actually, our first best bet of last college football season, I said Cam Ward was going to win the Heisman, which he did not.
Yeah.
But I thought he was going to be very, very, very good. And now he's about to be first overall draft pick. So I'm a huge fan of him. I think if he gets in a good situation, which obviously is in Tennessee, if they put the right guys around him, which it seems like they are, I think he can be really, really good fast. And then, you know, outside of that, man, it's a weird class. Like, I think, I don't know, I like Dylan Gabriel. You know, I hope the lefty, you know, he plays well. I think if he gets in the right situation, like, guys like Dylan Gabriel, who will go obviously later in the draft, like, he's been super successful everywhere he's been and super efficient. And I think pro ball as a quarterback, like, the name of the game is efficiency. Is if you can just move the ball down the field, it doesn't matter how you do it. And he's done that at multiple levels. So it wouldn't surprise me if he has a long NFL career. Outside of that, you know, Shador and Jackson Dart, those are kind of a toss-up. Other than that, man, I don't know. It's kind of a weaker class this year from everything I've seen on ESPN. But, yeah.
It's crazy to me, Holton. And yeah, I get it. We actually – guys have to go out and actually play. Like, it's not played on paper or a computer. And I bring that up because Quinn Ewers at a time was looked at as like a can't-miss guy. He was like the poster boy for transfer portal and NIL with the, Ohio State-Texas deal, right?
Yep.
And now he's looked at going where, Will? What is he, like 4th or something like that? Beyond that?
I think he could fall to the 5th or 6th.
Like, I'm guaranteed there were mocks 2 years ago that had him number 1 overall, maybe even like 1 year ago.
I think even going into last year, he was maybe the 2nd. best quarterback.
And
yeah.
Holden, I mean, do you believe like he can get back what he once had, or what we thought he once had? You know, how about guys like that?
I think he could be successful too. Like once you get into those middle rounds, dude, it's so much about like just the spot you land in, the quarterback coach, the OC that you're with. Like Quinn Ewers definitely has the arm. He could definitely go somewhere and be super successful. He'll be in the league for a long time. And one guy that I didn't just mention that I think is going to be really, really, really good that people are going to look back and be like, what the heck? And I think that's Jalen Milroe. I know some people say switch position. I don't think he should at all. I think he's like a mixture of Lamar and Jalen Hurts in a way. I like that he's almost kind of in a Jalen Hurts way. He kind of had struggles in college at Alabama. So, I mean, look, when you're the quarterback at Alabama, like if you lose at all and he got benched, you're going to experience tough times, probably tougher than what the NFL is going to bring now. So I like his moxie and the way he's kind of went through the process of college, didn't transfer, stuck through it, and now he's going to be a draft pick. So I wouldn't be surprised seeing it up if he gets in the right situation, being super successful.
What do you think? You got some, Will?
Yeah, just about Jalen Milroe. I think we saw it his junior year, second to last year, whatever that was. He has a big arm. He's very athletic. Everybody knows that. And then he lost the greatest college coach of all time, and then that's when we started to see the struggles. I don't think those struggles were because lack of NFL, talent. I think that was a bad situation for him. He's shown that in good situations he can be great, and I think some team in the second or third round that needs a quarterback is going to get a good one in Milroe.
Will, another Buckeyes question for you. Will Will Howard be an NFL starter at any point in his career?
Part of me says yes.
What do you think, Holt?
I could see it. Sorry, I mean, I could see it. I think Jalen Milroe's in a better situation, just for the sole purpose of like he might end up. I don't know when he'll get drafted, second or third. I've heard whispers of first, but who knows? Probably not. But he might end up he's going to end up in a situation where a team wants to develop him for a year or two, whereas some of these guys going in the first round got to play right away, and that's the difference between having a 10-year NFL career, having a 3-year bust NFL career because the franchise is on your back, where he's going to have time to be patient, to learn the program, and he's already been at Alabama. So I think if he ends up in the right situation, he could be really, really good.
All right, boy, to tell you how big of a crapshoot this thing is, Jamie, a couple years ago, was high on the hog. His Colts just got Anthony Richardson. Physical specimen. He's going to be the man. And now Jamie's asking Holton Ahlers, can a guy like Richardson be taught how to throw more accurate, or is that something that's just kind of passed him by? What do you think about Anthony Richardson there in Indy? Holt? Should we write him off, or are we still giving him a shot?
No, I wouldn't write him off at all. I've actually been around Anthony Richardson at the Manning Passing Academy. I've kind of stayed in touch since. But, no, I think he's obviously very talented, but look, his rookie year, he was having a great year. Like, the Colts fans are super excited, and, like, it's the same thing. If you just put the pieces around him, like, you got to give him confidence, and the more confidence he gets, he's going to play extremely well. Also, remember, he's, like, younger than I am. Like, Tyler Shucks in this draft is about, I think, 26 years old. He's a 26-year-old rookie.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson's, like, 23. So, yeah, like, he left college early. He's still got plenty of time. You just got to give him the time to actually be successful.
All right, Holden, we'll let you run before we do. All right, we got a series, man. Pistons take one at MSG. How you feeling about tonight?
I feel good. I would expect, and I hope, Tibbs is literally fighting for his coaching life with the Knicks right now. I think if this series even goes close to us losing, then he's gone and we hire Mike Malone. But if he hasn't made adjustments all year, and I hope tonight he does. I hope he plays Mitch Robinson and Deuce McBride more than Josh Hart to spread the floor more for one for Cat, because Cat's got to score. You don't trade what you traded, for him to not touch the ball in the second half. And then two, with Mitch Robinson playing, Cat's already been successful in that role and as the 4, and it takes pressure off of him playing defense as the 5, which I think is the real issue of it, so he doesn't foul as much. So we'll see. I don't know. I know we got the guys, but I don't know if we got the coach. I guess we'll see.
Ooh, Holt is soured on Tom Thibodeau. Holt, good stuff, man. Looking forward to the podcast with Zay Winstead coming up on Friday, you say?
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff. Appreciate you joining us, Holt. Keep up the good work there in Arlington, and we'll talk to you again soon, man.
Yep. See you, Clip.
All right. Fun chat today with Holton Ahlers talking NFL draft from his perspective and also what's coming up in this year's NFL draft. Before we take a break, Logan, OKC up 2-0. They've won by a combined, 100 points or whatever? Do the Grizzlies have a chance to win a game in this series?
Oh, absolutely not. I think just the defense is so good. Thunder in 3, and then they forfeit. But
I've said that especially if you get beat by 50, but if you are like the 8 seed and you lose the first 2 games and then lose game 3 at home, you might as well call it there. Like, why play that game for?
I think they should call it now. I mean, I think if they lose tonight, I'd be shocked if they even are able to steal a game. But I'm more worried about the Nuggets. I don't want to play them.
Well, another one of the series we kind of highlighted in round 1 as one to watch would be Nuggets Clippers, and after 2 games they are split at 1-1. Boy, it's a shame. How the hell did OKC Memphis get TNT and Nuggets Clippers get NBA TV? They got that backwards. No offense to you, Logan, but
I believe Nuggets and Clippers, or OKC and Memphis, got the NBA TV treatment already. So they tried to spread them.
They're throwing them a bone here?
Well, they tried to spread them around on different networks.
I guess.
I believe. Don't hold me to that.
How about game 3 tonight in LA? Nuggets Clippers, Will.
I just think the Clippers are a better team, and I think the Nuggets stole game 1. So I want to pick the Clippers, but part of me, like Jokic and Murray played really well in game 1, and they didn't even play that bad in game 2, but it's going to be close, but I think it goes the Clippers' way.
Clippers feel like a classic. Well, they won 50 games in the regular season, but did they just kind of flip the switch with, Kawhi and Harden? Like, all right, let's just start playing good in the playoffs or something.
Harden's been playing really, really, really good. It's last game was a little bit shaky, but
Kawhi picked up the slack. He had 38 or something.
Yeah, and Kawhi, and playoff Kawhi. I don't like Kawhi because he doesn't play, but whenever it comes to the playoffs, that dude, he steps up.
And then they even have Zubac, who everybody thought was, going to kind of cave into Jokic. He hasn't. I mean, Jokic has had good games, but it hasn't been like one of those Jokic performances where it gets out of hand.
All right, NBA action going on tonight along with the NFL draft and, of course, Major League Baseball. Can we just call this game? My White Sox future.
It got called.
White Sox win. 6-19 on the year. What do I got? 53.5?
53.5.
Oh, we're getting close.
I think at this point they're on pace for 33 wins.
Don't tell me that. Don't say that. White Sox beat the Twins 3-0 in 7 innings. Mariners knocking off the Red Sox today 4-3. It was the Royals over the Rockies. Did our guy Zach Agnos pitch? We talked to Zach Agnos yesterday on the show. You can watch that interview on YouTube. He did not pitch in today's game. So the stat remains the Rockies, when Zach Agnos does not pitch, 3-19 on the year. When Zach Agnos pitches, 1-0.
He's a winner.
I mean, pitch the guy. Is that a doubleheader? Because I think they were postponed yesterday. It is indeed. They will play again coming up at 5:25. Brewers with a 4-2 lead over the Giants in the 4th inning on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap up hour number 2, Pirate Radio Live, on a Thursday. Back with you after this.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
Spring has officially sprung. Time to trade in those winter blues for blooming flowers, sunny days, and maybe even a new home. If spring cleaning just isn't cutting it and you're ready for a fresh start, contact ENC Pirate Realty Allen Tate to find your next perfect home. Buying or selling, now's the time to make your perfect move. Get started today at encpiraterealty.com. ENC Pirate Realty Allen Tate. We close the deal or someone walks the plank. ARG. Go Pirates!
Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. I am Dr. Chris Gateway, and our mission at Michaels & Gateway is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels & Gateway are committed to providing an outstanding patient experience with every visit. Not only do we offer all your dental needs under one roof, in most cases, we can take care of those needs on the same day. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates.
Planning a special event, whether it's a baby shower, bridal luncheon, birthday party, or even a tailgate at Clark LeClaire Stadium, Chicken Salad Chick has you covered. Their fan favorite mini croissant platters is just one of many options to choose from, perfect for any occasion. With a variety of chicken salad flavors, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Let us do the work while you enjoy the event. Delicious, fresh, and served with a smile. Chicken Salad Chick Catering. Make every event memorable. Visit chickensaladchick.com to place your catering order. Just remember, you pick it up and we'll have it ready to go. Chicken Salad Chick, where every event is a little bit tastier.
This is Holton Ahlers for my friends at Anson Belts, the belts that I wear. Go to ansonbelt.com to find micro-adjustable holeless belts with over 30 plus options of a 1/4 inch apart instead of your typical 5 holes 1 inch apart, always giving you the perfect fit every time. If your waist fluctuates, Anson Belt is great because you can always find the perfect fit any time of the year. ansonbelt.com. Over 10,000 combinations to choose from, a belt for every occasion, and the official belt of the Holton Ahlers Show.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Pirate fans, the East Carolina football season ticket campaign presented by Hamill Builders is underway. The Pirates are looking to build momentum off an 8-win season and that Military Bowl win over North Carolina State. Head coach Blake Harrell wants you to be a part of his first full season as the Pirate head coach. Season tickets can be purchased for as little as $115. Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com today to get your 2025 season tickets.
You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Michaels & Gateway Family and Cosmetic Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. Their mission is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels & Gateway can handle all your dental needs, including cleanings, crowns, fillings, sedation dentistry, and cosmetic needs such as braces and implants. Visit them on Hemby Lane in Greenville or give them a call at 752-1600. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gateway Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right. We welcome in Greg Hudson, who's got a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to answer them all. He had a good one. What's going on this weekend in conjunction with the Purple Gold Spring Game? And I found some answers on ECUPirates.com. Good news, Coach Hud.
Yeah.
There will be pigs. The Parade of Pigs begins 6 o'clock Friday. Pass out pigs to all the pig cookers for the Pig Out barbecue competition. What do you remember about that part of the spring weekend?
I did not know that I was going to watch them pull the meat truck up, and they brought them out like they were prized, possessions.
Horses or something
like they had been in a tomb for years and had been awakened and brought out to be, almost like we were at the pulpit having a sacrifice, for the kings. And then it started. I mean, there were so many people. I mean, I rode my Harley up under there and was cranking it. But to see those guys, how serious they were, cooking all night.
So, an Ohio guy to South Bend, what was your relationship with Eastern North Carolina barbecue like at the time?
Zero.
Yeah.
I hadn't had it.
So what'd you think?
It was good.
Okay.
I didn't go, whoa, because of the, I'm not the vinegar type.
Okay.
But, you got my fill of Parkers in my tenure here, and then.
Yeah, my parents had that in my baby bottle, so I grew up with it. So
yeah, mine had creatine in mine. Yeah.
Okay, and it shows. All right, Saturday at 10 a.m. until sold out, it's the barbecue plate sale, so you can enjoy some of that great barbecue.
When's the parade?
Can I get to it?
That's the night before.
Huh?
Yeah, they cook the pigs on Friday.
Sure, yeah, Friday.
Okay, that's
6
the parade
o'clock.
Starts at 6.
Yeah.
That's when the sacrificial
Correct.
lambs are brought out and handed out delicately. I mean, there was a roar. The people cheered.
Where's John, Moody, Josh, any of y'all cooking pigs this weekend? Let me know. They usually chime in. They usually got something going on. Oh, and they do the cool displays and have.
It was the coolest tailgate I've ever been to.
Yeah. All right, so 10 a.m. Saturday, you can purchase your barbecue plate until they're sold out. 10 to 12:30, 4th annual Pig Out Your Ride Pigskin Car Show. Cost to enter is $20. Car show will be held at the Burt Family Premium Lot. All right.
I'm interested in that.
10 to 12, 4th annual Touch Our Trucks. Get in the driver's seat with a free hands-on experience with vehicles of all kinds. Children will be allowed to touch, climb on, and ask questions about their favorite trucks and cars in a safe and supervised environment. We got emergency, construction, all kinds of vehicles there, Coach Hud. We need Hud's Harley out there. 10 to 12, Kids Zone and Skills Station. Various activities and attractions. That is free. Pigskin Pig Out Vendor Palooza is also from 10 to 12:30. As well as a Spare Change concert. You can go out and watch Spare Change play.
Wait, they've been around.
They have been around a long time. Yeah, a lot of iterations.
I saw them when I was here.
Oh, we need to get Hud in the dunk tank. We got John Gilbert will be in the dunk tank.
I'll get in it.
10:15 to 12. Mad Big Guy Maloney will be in the dunk tank.
He won't even make a wave.
Like a little pebble.
Yeah, he'll float.
$5 for 3 throws, $20 for an auto push. Well, that's not fair. But for $20, you can dunk Gilbert and Maloney and a bunch of folks. Petey's birthday party going on at 10:15 a.m.
That water's got to be cold.
Oh, yeah. Coaches will be out there as well. Purple Gold Spring Game, 12 to 1:30. Pirate Radio crew will be there. The meet and greet will be following the game, 1:30. Inside of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, and that is free. So there you go, Coach. There's
that's a lot.
Big event going on this weekend.
I'm going.
And we need to take a timeout. You going to the game itself?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
Is it a game or a practice? I don't know.
Well, I'll ask you what it was when you were here.
We played in a real game. We actually tackled. But I've been to 2 of them already. I went to Purdue's and Texas A&M's. And
flag football?
A&M's was more. No, A&M, they got after it. Purdue's was pillow fight.
Gotcha.
It was practice, a lot of skill, a lot of whiz what I call it. Whizzing by each other.
Oh, gotcha.
Just whizzing on by. And don't touch anybody or breathe on them. They get hurt.
More with HUD when we return, hour 3 after this.
At Langley Contracting, we're superior roofing specialists. Whether it's a new roof or repairing your old one, we've got you covered. And best of all, we handle your insurance claims. We are locally owned right here in Eastern Carolina. We are licensed and insured and have a 25-year roof warranty. We can handle your gutter installation too, so everything is seamless. Call or visit us online at 214roof.com for your free estimate today.
Langley Contracting, your superior roofing specialist.
Stella Artois is a world-renowned Belgian beer with over 650 years of brewing heritage. Stella's rich, full flavor and smooth finish is perfect for making moments worth more. Stella's non-alcohol option, Stella 0.0, offers the same iconic taste without the alcohol, ideal for those looking to enjoy Stella anytime. Stella, whether celebrating big or small, Stella is the perfect choice for elevating the everyday. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
Hey Pirate Nation, warm weather is here and it's time to get back on the boat. And at Stroud's Marine, they're stocked up with over 26,000 pre-owned parts. They got everything you need from propellers, lower units, trim units, electrical and fuel parts, and just about anything else you need for an outboard. Stay up to date with the latest deals, parts, and promotions by following them on social media. And as always, their mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Remember, they're just around the corner. Stop by the shop at 865 Rivet Street in Greenville. For more information, head to StroudsMarine.com. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvaged outboard parts.
Hey there, Eastern North Carolina, Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. The Brown & Wood service specials include a tire price match guarantee, a $199 AC Delco front brake pad installation special. We also have a brake rotor rebate of $40 and a synthetic oil change on most vehicles for $89.95. Don't forget, free pickup and drop-off at Brown & Wood. 89 years in business, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
Have you tried the new boneless wings from Wings Over Greenville? That's right, Wings Over has all new boneless wings. These juicy, crunchy boneless wings are available in any of their 17 bold flavors, from sweet and tangy to fiery hot. Every craving is covered. Wings Over Greenville is giving you 10% off your entire order when you use the code PIRATE25 online or in the app. Wings Over is open for lunch every day and is open until 3 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. Visit wingsover.com today and soar into flavor with their new boneless wings. Wings Over Greenville. They deliver.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Parker Bird for my friends at Shimmer Boutique. New spring arrivals are here from all your favorite brands like Kinder Scott, Yeti, Local Boy, Pimp Shrimp, Simply Southern, and a lot more. Shop now at shimmerboutiqueonline.com and receive free shipping on all orders over $100. And don't forget, Shimmer is your place to get your very own Parker Bird shirt, available in youth and adult sizes. Shimmer in Greenville, Winterville, Jacksonville, and shimmerboutiqueonline.com. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for $11.99. Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for just $2.99. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or vegetable fajitas for only $11.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Be sure to visit one of ECU graduate Brandon Tate's U.S. Cellular locations and experience the highest standard of customer service. The purpose of the Atlantic Wireless Store experience is to inform, illuminate, and inspire. Find the location near you at AtlanticWireless.com. Atlantic Wireless, we go beyond the call. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
He's a hefty person.
Shirley, we're trying to think of a hefty comedian.
Big guy.
Big guy.
Black
John
guy.
Pignette?
No.
Black fella. I said Bruce.
Nope.
Like Cedric the Entertainer.
I was thinking of Cedric.
the Entertainer. That's him. That's who we're dealing with.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Coach Hudd is really fascinating when it comes down to it. Or either the biggest BSer I've ever met in my life.
I just spent a 90-minute call on talking about this stuff for the Joe Moore Award, and there's really got a chance to take off, and it already has. That like I said, from a media standpoint, the Joe Moore Award is the second most popular award in college football behind the Heisman now, and that's following, and from where it's recognized in the media. The presenting of the trophy, this year to be on CBS, like it was for Army, really was a big deal, and that launched it even into another stratosphere potentially. But the brand is growing,
right?
And just like the Heisman is a brand, the Joe Moore Award is a
Heisman
brand.
House.
And so Aaron Taylor, who started it, who I got to coach and be around, and it was on my podcast. Aaron has diligently built this up, and like I told you, he's copyrighted some slogans and some terms, that are all about being big offensive linemen, and using our credo of I am because of us. I am because of us was something Joe always pounded home, and moving a man from point A to point B against his will. And is a credo, and so a lot of that stuff, will help the brand, and the YouTube, growth is where it can take off, and so it's an exciting time.
How much did your knowledge of the O-line, your appreciation and love for Joe Moore and everything help you? Like, of course, Linville helps out with stuff like that, but help you coach defense and the defensive line.
It's the best thing that happened, and and I have to thank Coach Holt Sr. When I met with him to become a GA, I actually went there to meet with him to be the defensive GA, to go to Cincinnati because Rick Minner was there, who ends up going to Cincinnati, that I ended up working for. So I go meet with Coach at the coaches convention because I'd been out for 2 years coaching in California, and he said, listen, what is your main goal? I said, I want to be the next Barry Alvarez. I want to be the defensive coordinator at Notre Dame. That was an attainable goal to me. Now, the dream and aspiration, the dream would be the head coach, but attainable goal, and got that. He said, well, good. Now that I know that, I'm going to move you to offense, and you're going to be Joe Moore's GA. Well, I'd been a player around Joe Moore. I already knew about the insanity and the intensity, and I was like, ugh. He said, listen, I came to Ohio State and got hired by Woody Hayes. He moved me to defense, and I coached the secondary, and he's told me, this will make you a better coach on offense. And there at the beginning of my career, that happened to me. There was nothing I did ever on defense that didn't come from what is the offensive line doing and how they're going to react.
You just answered my next question. I'll ask you anyway. You always hear coaches say they like guys to play different sports. Like, don't just focus on football, play basketball, run track, do that. So would you recommend a coach?
Absolutely.
Going on both sides and everything?
We used to, that was not uncommon up until recruiting got really more electronic. Guys moved, I coached linebackers was my first job. Now, you're always coaching special teams in some phase or capacity. So then I come back and I coach offensive line. I learned how to coach the tight ends and the passing game and the tight ends, because when the season started, Coach Holtz just comes walking by the office and goes, look, because tight ends were always with us, with the offensive line.
Yeah.
So he sticks his head in the door and just says, hey, Craig, hey, Joe, he's going to coach the tight ends from now on. And then he just keeps walking.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So he's like,
Lou hath spoken.
Yeah. So I had the tight ends more. Well, then I go to Connecticut. I'm the offensive line coach. Well, then I go to Cincinnati and I'm tight ends, and then I helped with the offensive line. Coach calls me in and says, hey, I'm trying to hire this guy, and then I got to move this guy, and I'm really in a pinch. I need a favor from you. He goes, I'll make it worth your while. He says, I need you to coach the running backs. And I was like, okay. So for one season, 1998, I coached the running backs at Cincinnati, and I treated them like offensive guards. And then I moved back to defense. And so I've coached linebackers, DNs, safeties. And
did your guys walk in the room and see you and say honky check when they
that was before you know what? As a matter of fact, that may have been right around the time I learned about honky check from Joker Phillips. So, yeah.
Wait, I heard, Steve Spurrier, you said, would do the honky check, but you heard it from Joker as well?
Joker heard it because he had played against him and coached against him. And he's like, oh, yeah, Kentucky, we ran a white corner out there. He said, honky check.
I still love that. Man, we had a fun year. Me and a former intern, Travis, would bet on Kentucky. They had a run when Joker was there. We loved some Joker Phillips for like 5 weeks out of a football season. I couldn't tell you the year.
Were they covering?
Oh yeah, they were covering some games. That was he with Lorenzen? Lorenzen was before that.
The hefty lefty was.
He was way before
God
that.
Rest his soul.
Yeah.
Was prior to that. Bill. Hold on. Bill Curry.
Really?
Yeah.
Kentucky football.
Was Bill Curry still there?
I'll have to look up boy. Stoops has been there for a while, and he's probably outdone what people thought of him at Kentucky. He's been there since 2013. Wow. Rich Brooks. Okay. Bill Curry was 90 to 96.
Then how Mummy came in.
Mummy.
Boy, that was wild when he came in.
Guy Morris, Rich Brooks, Joker Phillips, and then Mark Stoops has been there ever since. All right. HUD NFL Draft Week. Jamie was asking, did you get drafted or signed to a team out of Notre Dame? So you went right into coaching, baseball, right?
Because I stayed my 5th year and I played baseball.
Yeah, so okay. Did you have pro football aspirations?
Early on.
Yeah.
But it was a different game back then, man. It was he had to be a big dude. And it was a lot of fun. I had aspirations still in baseball. But
So did you play baseball before your last year in college?
Yeah.
Oh, you played your whole time there?
No, the last couple.
Okay. So you went a few years without organized baseball is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's pretty, and was it tough to get back into it, or you still have your swing and everything?
No, it was a little, I'm telling you, the complete focus in the weight room in a year-round capacity, and then the absolute barbarianism of what football was at that time. I'm structurally feeling.
Yeah. And were you catching as well?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So, hey, Greg's already been beat up the last 3 years. Just put him behind the plate. He'll be all right.
Tools of ignorance, man.
Take another beating back there.
It was awesome.
Coach HUD, Greg HUD, have you ever been to the draft?
No.
Yeah. Not something you're into?
No, not even that we actually used to, the draft party back in the day was popular. That was popular if you're a place where guys are going to get drafted, obviously. So at Notre Dame, there was always something going on around the draft.
Yeah.
Especially the year that, Tim won the Heisman, and, now he's going to be a first-round draft pick. And, first time I saw a student in a Porsche on campus, and our player.
Huh? How did he do that?
Who cares? It's Tim Brown. Do whatever you wanted.
Tim Brown. Man, you've had. I wonder if you could count the guys you've had drafted. How about in the first round? Like, who stands out to you that you played with or coach? Who are like the big names?
I mean, Aaron Taylor, right? Just to say him again, offensive line wise, was just so good. Andy Heck was another first round pick, offensive
great lineman.
Plays for 12. It's the linemen in those positions. Had some guys. I'll tell you who was just a freakazoid that I thought he was Gronk before Gronk. It was Mark Bavaro.
Okay.
He wasn't I think he was second round. But to see a guy like
I saw the tail end of his career with the Giants.
Yeah, he's just amazing. And
Rocket, of course, was
Bryant Young.
Oh yeah. Niners.
Rocket was, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it's like you call a guy Magic, it's because he did magical things. You call a guy Rocket, it's not because he was sort of fast.
He earned the nickname.
Every split second of it.
Had a brother named the Missile who went to Cuse.
Quadri.
Yeah.
Quadri Isman. He played for a minute. The quarter. I'll tell you, some guys that were first rounders that didn't play as much, but they played 10 or 11 years. I mean, Rick Meyer played a long time.
We looked him up, and it's so like.
I mean, he broke some rookie passing records.
So when I hear Rick Meyer, I think bust, and then we looked up he was in the league 10+ years. Yeah, and had some.
Look up Steve Berline.
Oh, now he
played 13 years.
He was the NFL leading passer in '99, I want to say, for the Panthers, like late in his career. Yeah,
he was a really good player. The couple guys that at Florida State, Xavier Rhodes, was special.
Top corner in the league for years.
Yeah, he was a special player, and he was a wide receiver that didn't want to play defense, and just a great human being. And those guys are just different dudes when they when the ball snapped and they move. It's just obvious.
I love asking y'all coordinators. Back when you were here, I asked you. I still ask today, like, what percentage of the guys are forced to play defense? Because everybody wants the ball, but you also have those guys that just like hitting people.
Yeah.
Like, what's the percentage you think of like a?
Well,
you think guys still like to hit people, and want to play defense?
Yeah, every kid. It's in now with the way equipment is, and some of the limitations of hitting, and the hitting's a little different. You're not going helmet to helmet.
Yeah.
Hitting, doesn't hurt as bad in my opinion, or you have a chance for it to be less destructive. But I think every guy that is a good player is going to play offense first anyhow.
Yeah.
Because he's got talent. For years, Penn State would would recruit the biggest and longest, most athletic quarterbacks and move them to linebacker for years. And Pierre Bell was a tailback.
Yeah.
Jeremy Chambliss was, I think, a running back or a safety.
One of my favorites, Devon Drew, was a quarterback.
Yeah.
And was a great tight end here at ECU.
So, but, the guys, definitely don't want to, like Willie, he was the opposite. He wanted to stay on defense. But it's
a guy like Linville, does he ever say, "Coach, I'm a fullback. Give me on her"? Or is he born to play defensive tackle?
Had Linville said he wanted to play fullback, we just said, "We'll get you in there."
Yes, sir.
We'll find the time to get you in there. We just showed him clips of the refrigerator, and said, "This is how we see it."
He might have played an offensive snap or two. Now, goal line maybe.
Yeah,
got in there to block.
Yeah, he was still doing it.
Jamie brought up the bus. Were you around Notre Dame during Bettis' time?
Yeah, he'll that's an angled tackle nightmare.
Did I see Bettis' son recently?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's going to Notre Dame.
Jerome Bettis Jr.
Yeah. He's going to Notre Dame.
He's a mini bus. He ain't bussy yet.
You can't say short bus.
No, I didn't, and I didn't. You did.
No.
And I did.
He's a sleek conversion bus.
Like an Amtrak.
He's like one of those Mercedes buses, or the large vans.
What's up, Will?
Thomas Davis Jr., who I happen to know from back home, is also going to Notre Dame.
Oh, wow.
Former Panthers linebacker Thomas Davis.
Legend. He's on his like 8th leg, right? Thomas Davis. He had more surgeries and came back than anybody.
Yep.
I like seeing these juniors. It reminds me I'm old, but it's always fun to see a junior.
I told you when I said the car.
Yeah.
That broke me down. Hey, I coach against your
grandpa.
Grandpa. Jeez.
Some news too. Sheets
gasoline.
You mentioned Carr, quarterback at Notre Dame. One of the Notre Dame quarterbacks transferred last week. Who was that, Will?
Steve Angeli went to Syracuse.
Yeah. So
what was his tie to Syracuse? What was the? Well, they're running the recess ball again there, aren't they? They got it. Well, they had it.
They had the old Ohio State quarterback last year, right?
Yeah, Kyle McCord.
McCord. Yeah.
I'm gonna look up where Steve Angeli's from. I have.
Angeli. He's probably from.
He's from Jersey.
From up there somewhere.
He's got to be from Jersey.
He went to Bergen Catholic in Jersey.
Told you.
There you go. Put the dots together. All right, let's take a break. Bone was at the groundbreaking for a practice facility. You know the one you promised the players? It's going to be built.
He's got it on tape?
We'll see. I hope so. He just walked in. Actually, it's on Pirate Radio, Coach Hood. I just saw it.
The indoor.
Yeah. The ground. You want to see the first shovel in the ground? There's the.
Where's it at?
There's the first honky check.
Where are they gonna put it? Is that where the lacrosse team's practicing? Or
I can't
field
tell
hockey
the
team?
exact
We have field
location
hockey
there.
team?
We have a women's lacrosse team.
Is that over there? We're gonna do it.
We'll have those answers when we return. You can finally call P. Bell and Cotton and say, "Hey, remember that practice facility I said?"
Told you we're building.
I told you. You thought I was lying. Back with
We're
you.
gonna have it open for you when you're 55. You can walk around.
Bring your grandkids.
Retired player walk around.
Back after this.
Hey,
Homeowners can face many challenges throughout this season, but our newest New Blue star, Dixon Williams, is here to slide in and save the day. Have a clog that's hitting a foul ball and nothing seems to be getting through? Dixon's fixing to get you flowing again. Feeling like your HVAC's in a slump? Dixon's sliding in to get your comfort back on track. Are swinging blind in a power outage? Dixon is delivering a power boost. So when problems arise, turn home strikeouts into home runs with New Blue, electric, plumbing, and air.
I'm Morgan Ahlers here with Brian Cook. He's the comptroller with Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World. If you're looking online, one website covers both locations. It's driveherenow.com.
Right. We're the driveherenow.com family between our two locations here in Greenville. I can take you to either website at gmcapproved.com or greenvilleautoworld.net. And yeah, you can see all our inventory there. A lot of stuff says coming soon as we're getting new stuff, but be on the lookout for anything you need.
Greenville Motor Company and the new Greenville Auto World. We will earn your trust and business one vehicle at a time.
At U.S. Cellular, we created an event called Us Days to celebrate our customers, like Gary here.
We get exclusive deals like $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet. It's a celebration so big, it feels like they wrote a hype song just for me.
Go, Gary! Go, Gary!
Celebrate Us Days at U.S. Cellular. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. We go beyond the call.
Tired of the same old gym routine? Rebel Fitness is here to change the game. Whether you're throwing punches, kicking it in kickboxing, or mastering MMA, we bring the heat with specialized group classes that make fitness feel like a fight you actually want to win. At Rebel Fitness, we're not just about lifting weights, we're about lifting spirits. Join a community of badasses who are rebelling against the norm and crushing their fitness goals. Sweat, lift, move, fuel, fight for a healthier, happier you. Rebel Fitness, where fitness meets fun. Join the movement today. Visit us at 3700 Charles Boulevard or visit rebelfitnessnc.com.
It's time for a family fun barbecue fundraiser to support Riley's Army and families facing pediatric cancer. Join us Sunday, May 4th from 3 o'clock to 6 p.m. at QC Kinetics and treat you and your family to a barbecue dinner provided by Beaker's Brisket. Market. Individual plates are $15 and family meals are 4 for only $50. Everyone who purchases a meal or donates will have the chance to enter an exciting raffle. We can't do it alone. We need an army. Order or donate online now at Riley'sArmy.com.
Overtime's Tavern is officially open in downtown Greenville. Whether you're craving a cold drink, hot meal, or just a place to unwind with friends in a laid-back atmosphere, we've got you covered. Join us daily from 11 a.m. to midnight every day, or stick around for our late-night hours on the weekends. Follow Overtime Tavern on Facebook or Instagram for daily specials and events, including live music. OT's is right across from the Sheets on Charles Boulevard in downtown Greenville. Overtime's Tavern, where every hour feels like overtime.
Make a fresh start in your home this spring and save at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Reimagine your space and save on fresh finds for every room. Save on a wide selection of the freshest looks and styles. Hundreds of items in stock, plus 6 months special financing. Save up to 70% off all clearance items. Start your better sleep journey this spring on a comfortable mattress with over 30 models to choose from, with up to 48 months special financing. Spring into savings today at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
I'm Donald Stocks, owner of Pip Marketing Signs Print. We are your one-stop shop for just about anything printed. If we're not your go-to printer, please give us a call at 355-1636. We have over 80 5-star Google reviews and want you to be our next more than satisfied and well-pleased customer. Check us out at growatpip.com or stop in to see us at 3185 Mosley Drive in Greenville. Pip, where business goes to grow.
Pirate Radio, proudly serving the Pirate Nation for over 20 years. We are the voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Greenville Utilities Neighbor to Neighbor program provides help for those who need temporary assistance with their utility costs, and you can make a difference. Your tax-deductible donation can be added to your GUC bill each month, or you can make a one-time donation, and GUC matches all donations up to $20,000 each year. Consider helping a neighbor with GUC's Neighbor to Neighbor program. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, we welcome in Rain Man, as Greg Hudson calls him, Jarrett Watkins. What's up, J-Bone?
Nothing much.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
You were at the groundbreaking ceremony.
Yeah, a little warm out there.
A little toasty. Was it exciting watching those shovels go in the ground?
Yeah.
Coach Hud had questions. Where is this? Where did they put those shovels in the ground? Where are we?
So there's an auxiliary field right beside the football practice field right now. It was there. They had a bunch of tents, snacks, and drinks, and then some brick with some sand in there, and they went to town.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Coach? Do you know the locale now?
Is there a name for it?
The
Isley
indoor
And
facility.
who's that? Do we know?
Van Isley is head of something, and he donated a bunch of money.
Howard Isley was a point guard for the Jazz when I was growing up.
Any relation?
I don't think so. Any more questions there, journalist man?
How big is it?
What did he say? 28,000, 32,000.
Can you kick in there?
Yeah, there's going to be a floating goalpost. So there's not going to be like a...
Yeah, that's common.
Yeah.
But can you punt in there?
It looks big enough in the picture.
Did you ask him how high it is?
No.
I want HUD out there with a tape measure.
Okay, here's my next question. Is there a track around the field, or is it straight AstroTurf?
I need to see some renderings.
I don't know. There's going to be a video board in there.
Yeah, it should be.
LED, scoreboard and stuff.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, that sucker they built in South Bend. Man, they're having a play, and then you're watching it. It's up on they're everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, here's a cartoon image of it from 2 years ago, Coach HUD. I don't see a track.
Good.
No, you're good on that? No track? Okay.
Mason said, "You want to show me a school that's not committed to football?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "See if they got a track around their football field."
Now, if you got a track around the field, sure.
That's some high school stuff.
Yeah. You don't want to see that. That's is Wallace Wade still got a track, or did it, or did I make that up? Didn't Duke have a track around their football field?
Said that when he was at Kansas.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. HUD also had a question about Ron Ayers Motorsports 50th anniversary open house going on May the 3rd. Chain Reaction BMX stunt team will be out there. Free barbecue sandwiches, free Sparky snowballs, and a Kawasaki electrode bike giveaway. So that's going on. Ron Ayers sponsoring on this day. Bit of a trick question here. I'm going to ask you, HUD.
All right.
On this day in 2004, the Chargers drafted this quarterback first overall. He did not play a game for their team because he was traded. It was a big-time trade.
2004.
Yeah.
Just left.
One of the best quarterback draft classes.
I was on my way here.
Yeah.
That draft was in April. I wasn't here yet.
Super Bowl champ.
I don't know.
So, Eli was drafted by the Chargers.
And he said, "I ain't going."
He said, "No, sir." Archie said, my son ain't playing there."
That's awesome.
I went to New York, and, of course, Rivers, part of the deal.
Did they really get upset with Archie Manning over that? I mean, was it a big deal? I mean, it was.
I remember it being in the news.
Well, at the time, who wants to play for the Chargers?
But it's an ugly look. Like, I mean,
it had a little bit of waves, but it didn't go. Now, another person had Deion Sanders said that.
Oh man, it'd have been huge.
There'd have been a Sheets auto storm.
Yeah. Well, we kind of had that where it was like rumored that Shadur's not going to play for these teams, and
Well, now. Yeah, he's probably not.
Because the teams don't want him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe any of that stuff? Just anonymous execs?
So there was an anonymous assistant coach that said he had terrible body language, was so entitled, was not, everybody's got a different opinion of everyone. But
I feel like these organizations, like the media, is just making it up.
Well, some teams put out that crap to try to get people to not pick them.
Yeah,
so
smoke screens. Yeah.
Dude, somebody said it.
Yeah.
Somebody said it, but do they mean it?
But put your name on it. Back it up.
Put your name on it.
Fired.
Say what you mean what you say.
Will, how much do you know about Ohio?
It's like you giving up your sources.
Right.
Can't do it.
Yeah. Will, 30 years ago, Ohio State had the first overall pick in the draft by the Cincinnati Bengals. Do you know? I'm going to call your dad.
Offensive lineman?
No, defensive lineman. His nickname was Big Daddy.
Wilkinson?
Dan Wilkinson. Yeah, Big Daddy Dan Wilkinson.
That's a big human.
He was a big dude. On this day in 1994, he won the scoring. This center won the scoring title by scoring 71 points on the final game.
Oh.
Think of 90s NBA centers. Jared is saluting.
Hakeem?
No.
Oh, the general.
Well,
David Robinson.
The Admiral, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking the General too. But for a great low rate, you can get online. You can go to the General and save some time.
I barked at the Admiral at a football game.
You did what now?
Dropped an F-bomb at him.
Nice.
Okay. Why'd you do that?
Because his son was playing for Notre Dame, and he was standing on the Purdue sideline with a field pass.
Ah.
He was I'm literally like right here. And like I'm on the coaching box. And it was right before the game, and I'm just standing there. It was my first season at Purdue and first time ever coaching. Well, second time, but as the DC. And I just glanced up and I go, "What the F are you doing on our sideline?" Like that. And the guys that were with him looked around, and it was Painter, the basketball coach.
Painter, yeah.
And I just looked back and I said, "This is bullshit." I did. I was pissed.
So you were mad, yeah.
I was mad. I was like, wait, I mean.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then they're going, who's going to steal your signature? That's not the point. Would they let, my dad stand over there?
I appreciate that, Coach HUD. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. You shouldn't be over here on the Purdue sideline.
So then I get there as a coach a few years later.
Yeah.
His son's a senior. And I see his dad at a practice. And I went up and introduced myself. And I said, "Oh, by the way, we met before." And he looks at me and I said, I was the D coordinator at Purdue when you. He goes, oh yeah, man.
He remembered it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've only heard good things about David Robinson.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He is. Son's a great kid, and that's when my daughter Casey was working in football at Notre Dame, the older girl, and she would always escort certain people that they would let go down in this one corner so they didn't have to sit in the stands and get berated. Bon Jovi and David Robinson, and there was a couple other times, but she would always send me a picture with him, and she said, without a doubt, those two in particular, but she said David Robinson was always would wait before he would win the field. Where's my girl? Where's Casey?
That's awesome. For those who haven't heard HUD from a long time, the one of the few times he was starstruck, he said, was John Bon Jovi.
Oh my God, yeah.
You fangirled when you met John Bon Jovi.
I was like, damn, he does have nice hair. Shoot, he's a good-looking guy.
You know what? He's a good-looking man.
He's not the tallest fellow, but he's a good-looking human.
How big was his boy that played football?
He was taller than Dad.
Yeah.
But he was, but Dad was a nice guy.
Good dude.
I mean, he shook my hand, gave me a hug, and said, congratulations on becoming defensive coordinator at your school. And he did the talking.
John Bon Jovi told Greg Hudson, congratulations.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
My friend John, that's how I refer to
Oh,
him.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not that close.
John, he's the lead singer of this band. He's a good guy.
All right, Rain Man. On this day in 1974, the NFL granted a franchise to this NFC team. So, obviously not new now, but new then. Who are some of the...
Tampa?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
74?
74.
So was that when...
Well, they had the worst season ever, right?
Was that with John McKay?
I guess so. Early days, maybe Doug Williams. Was he there in the iteration of the Bucs?
I don't know, man. No, that might have been 74.
So that was when they got
quarterback
the
of that
franchise. That wasn't probably when they started. They started in 76 with McKay.
Who was it, Spurrier?
Oh, yeah. He was the quarterback there, right?
Liam Ray Perkins left Alabama to go there.
Oh, Sam Weiss. I remember him with the Bengals.
He's from Eastern North Carolina.
Who?
Sam Weiss.
No, he's not.
Well, I'm pretty sure he is. I know he had a farm here. Where's he from?
He's from Georgia, Pickens, South Carolina. But you might be right. I don't know. See some personal life.
And Catfish Hunter from around here?
Yeah. He was admitted in Charlotte, North Carolina, so he was around the area, South Carolina. So you might be onto something there. Sam Weiss. We need to take a break. We'll do a Fleet Feet rundown. He was a Hoosier.
Yeah, for how long?
11 games.
An hour.
I'm not going to tell you that Jamie in the chat said earlier Purdue should drop football. I'm not going to tell you that.
Why would you do that?
I think he was just trying to piss you off, just to rile you up, see what you would do.
Pushing some buttons.
Yeah. Okay.
No, they shouldn't drop it. They should invest in it heavily, like IU did.
There you go. Proof's in the pudding. Back with you after this.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
Looking for an adventure that's refreshing in more ways than one? Welcome to River Vibes, where nature meets flavor. Freely paddle through the stunning Pamlico River on one of our kayaks or stand-up paddle boards. After your adventure, cool down with one of our mouth-watering smoothies, refreshers, boba teas, or fresh juices. Plus, grab some awesome River Vibes gear to remember the day. River Vibes, where every moment is a splash of fun. Visit us in historic downtown Washington or on Facebook or Instagram. Ride, relax, and refresh at River Vibes.
North Carolina State Parks invites you to enjoy camping your way. With the weather changing, booking your own cabin is the perfect solution for your camping getaway. Reserve campsites or cabins today at Jones Lake, Goose Creek, and Cliffs of the Neuse. Whether you enjoy traditional camping or air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi, your next adventure can include hiking, beautiful scenery, and sunsets by the campfire. For information on booking a cabin, visit ncparks.gov.
Washington's favorite place to eat and where all the locals go is down on Main Street. Down on Main Street is now open 7 days a week. Stop by for the house salad with grilled chicken, the half club sandwich with chips, or everyone's favorite, the fried shrimp plate. After work, Down on Main Street is the perfect spot for dinner and drinks on the patio. Join Down on Main every Wednesday for half-price wings from 4 p.m. to close. Down on Main Street in historic downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Jacob Jiggins Cowart, and the best place to go for custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items is University Sportswear. University Sportswear hit a home run for me when I needed my custom t-shirts. From start to finish, University Sportswear provided superior customer service and a quality product that cannot be beat. If your business, organization, or event needs t-shirts or promotional help, then you need University Sportswear. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. Go Pirates!
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Warm up with savings at the Beaufort Hotel. Plan your escape and save up to 20% off. The premier vacation destination on the Crystal Coast is nestled on 10 acres and overlooks the Rachel Carson Reserve, home to 30 wild horses. Discover why Beaufort was named the best small town for adventure by USA Today when you stay at the Beaufort Hotel, where your Outer Banks adventure begins. Visit BeaufortHotelNC.com or call 252-728-3000.
What up, what up, what up? This is your man, Petey Pablo, again with the Pirates, hanging out with that Pirate Nation. We got that patches over the eyes, and we can see everything. Talk to you when I talk to you. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Pirate Radio, baby.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. UBE has been an ECU tradition for over 50 years. You can shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for Pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. And looking for a great meal in the heart of downtown Greenville? Come on down to 5th Street Hardware and Tap Room. Whether you're craving a juicy burger, a fresh seafood basket, or a tasty sandwich or wrap, they've got something for everybody. Grab a bite with friends, relax on the patio, and enjoy the cozy, welcoming atmosphere. Join them for Singo on Tuesday night. Wednesday night is trivia with DJ Captain Morgan and live music on Fridays. And while you're there, check out the Repair Shop, which features dart lanes, pool tables, skee ball, and other great games. So next time you're in downtown Greenville, make it a point to visit 5th Street Hardware. Great food, great company, right next to the State Theater in downtown Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. We got Will, we got Logan. Hey, made an appearance in Studio B. Coach Hud's here. Coach Hud, as college football gets closer and closer to pro football in a lot of aspects, the draft, you've got your GM and your scouts doing all that with the coaches' input, sure. But like in college football, it's the coaches making the calls as to who they recruit and everything. Like, does Bama have a giant scouting department separate from coaching now?
Yes, they all do.
Yeah, everybody's got that at this point?
If you went from the top down and worked from a budget standpoint,
right?
Just like 20 years ago, Saban started this.
Okay.
And had more, he has so many coaches. Well, they were analysts. And it was all play on words to get it through the BS of that lunacy in Indianapolis, the NCAA. And it's just grown to the pro system. And, the GM, they watch all the scouting department watches all the recruits. And they even have I know some places where they have a guy that may have been a NFL scout for, years and maybe retired. And so they bring this guy in, and all he does is watch college team of guys for the portal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
He'll evaluate those guys.
Yep.
So there's a full scouting team. If you go through the top 40 schools, it'll be there until the money runs out in the pace, allotment, and then you'll have those guys. And yes, it's definitely there except for the draft. And now with the vote, the legislation and what went on in D.C. and getting turned over to the schools and finalized, it'll be a little more streamlined. And
we'll save that for another week because you are pretty passionate about, with the new numbers and what it means for walk-ons. And I want to get to that at some point, too, and talk in detail. As far as recruiting, Coach Hud, you got to do it, obviously. Like, is that something you had to do or something you enjoyed doing as a coach? You know what I'm saying?
You had to do it, but I love to do it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed I probably started enjoying it less the older my kids got, and they got into more activities when I was missing things. But when they were younger and when we didn't have kids, I loved going on the road. I loved meeting people, I enjoy. People are like, I don't want to go over to see this guy. I was like, I'll go. I go somewhere in nowhere USA. I was all for it.
Talk to the mamas, the grandmamas, the families.
Go eat at a diner in the middle of nowhere, Missouri or something, and that was interesting to me, and I enjoyed, the chase of trying to, out recruit, this guy, and what can we show him better? I mean, it's a sales position, and I was just selling a university and a program and a dream, and just like with a product, are you selling the product, or are you selling yourself and the story about it? Do you sell the show, or do you sell pirate radio as a whole? Do you sell the whole organization and stuff like that?
Rick Smith had some good stories about guys on the recruiting trail, whether it be like another guy walking down the hall in the same school or parked on the same road he's on and all that, and the battle. That's pretty interesting.
You go in for your home visit, and you're supposed to be done at 8:30, and you leak it to 8:40, 8:45, and
take up the other guy's time a little bit.
Or if you pull up and you're supposed to have a home visit, and Barry Switzer's there, you just turn around and leave.
What kind of illegal activities is going on in there?
There were some schools I went into, and the guy walked in to start recruiting him. I was like, well, we're done here. Let me fold this up, get my stuff. I'll be on my way. I'll see you next month when we start junior recruiting.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Greg Hudson joining us today. Coach, don't get too attached, right? Like, did some guys, like, you just connect with a kid or something, and you're like, look, we got to have this guy. I know he's not on the top of your list, but like, or can you keep it a business? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I really could disconnect. I didn't have a problem with that. Some guys, got way too emotionally involved.
Sure.
And I think
I can see that.
I don't know if that was as much their connection to that player as it just was their personality and just how they were.
Right.
An over.
Oh man, I'm a sucker. I'd want every kid I talk like, man, we got to get this guy and this guy and this guy.
And it was also before you could get them all on campus, and you had to trust the guy's word, and you had this, there was times, I was like, we're not offering this kid. If he walks in now, and I got my cowboy boots on, I am 6'2.5" in my cowboy boots. If he walks in the door and he's not an inch taller than me, minimum, we're not offering him a scholarship. And guys are like, I'm telling you, he's 6'4". And he walks in and he's 6'1", and his mom's 5'3". I'm like, then you look at that coach and you're like, well, you're a 5'9" person, so
everybody's 6'4" to you. Yeah, everybody.
And I'm like, no, we're not offering a guy. You brought him here. Now you got to get him out of here without an offer.
Do the words verbal commit mean anything to you? Like
No.
it? Yeah, that's just like whatever.
That means it's just getting started.
Yeah. He also verbally committed to 3 other schools. So good luck. Yeah.
You know, you try to use every analogy. Well, you only get engaged to one person. It's like, well, it depends on what state you're in.
Okay. Moving on from that. Coach Hood, let's get to our Fleet Feet rundown. Alex Harper was here earlier. Lifelong fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he announced earlier on the show. He'll tell us about Fleet Feet right now.
Hey, Pirate Nation. Be sure you have the best and most comfortable shoes this tailgate season with a stop at Fleet Feet. Locally owned and operated by ECU alum Chris Lunyon. Fleet Feet of Greenville provides solutions through one-on-one services to runners, walkers, and everyone in between. Fleet Feet has the tools and technology to get you in the right shoe, including a 3D foot scanner that measures arch height, width, and more. Go see them at 207 East Arlington Boulevard in the old Gordon's Golf location. Fleet Feet. They run for you.
Scott on YouTube said Switzer called Billy Sims during halftime. Is that true?
Probably.
Jamie says, what coach did you out-recruit that you were most fond of? Did you ever beat a guy and you were really proud of it? Or I mean, I'm sure you did plenty of times, but anything come to mind?
I mean, no, not really. It's more about beating, being able to beat the school, being able to beat a school like Ohio State when you're at Minnesota.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Really, when you do, for the most part, you rarely beat them on an elite player, even if they're like, I was the best player in the state. Well, the best player in the state one year was a 5'9.5" running back that Ohio State didn't want, and he went to another school.
Right.
We beat Ohio State. Well, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I unfortunately know what you mean with that with ECU recruiting sometimes. But you've been in some interesting spots. At Minnesota, you're fighting the big boys, and if you can get one, that'd be awesome. At Notre Dame, you're recruiting nationally. How about Florida? What was the wars like that with Miami and the Gators and the SEC?
And
that'd be crazy.
And they would tell on each other back before. If you went into a school and you weren't supposed to be there at that certain time, like the kid at a basketball game, there's a Florida fan that's a teacher there, they would call the NCAA, and, Miami didn't as much. Florida and Florida State and Miami, it was every day.
Man,
there was something, going on. But we had a better sell at the time because Miami wasn't really going as good, and Florida was on the back end of Urban. They were still good, but we were starting to beat them, and that's why we had.
What was that, Jimbo?
Yeah, in those 3 years I was there, we had 26 guys drafted.
Yeah,
we were getting dudes. I would take that defense. I would take that defense in particular, and play anybody today. Anybody.
That was your best unit you coached?
Dude, we were so good. It was scary, man. And they were so Neanderthal. They wanted to be on the kickoff team and kill people. It was awesome.
Was that the one you brought your mom or your grandma around or something? Was that Florida State? Or
yeah.
She was cussing with the boys or something? What'd you say?
You better beat their ass.
That's all they needed to hear.
Boys better win. Beat their ass. I don't like Florida.
That's inspiration right there. All right, Will, final NFL draft thoughts. Let me ask you this. So you're a young fan, but who is your favorite Giants pick of all time? Not the best player, but at the time of the draft you were most excited about.
I know taking running backs at the number 2 pick is kind of taboo, but it was Saquon.
Well,
because as an Ohio State fan,
whatever happened to him? Y'all still have him?
I don't know. He might be floating around on someone's
carrying
training.
a Super Bowl trophy with another team. How about you, young Logan? Any Panthers guy you were really excited about when you drafted?
Panthers?
Recently, probably J.C. Horn, DJ Moore.
They gave Horn a lot of money. I guess they expect him to be healthy and play well. So
I think he's good when he's healthy.
Here's how you knew not to be excited about a player. If he's a quarterback and the Bengals draft him, you knew he stunk.
Joe Burrow finally broke that streak. But Akili Smith, they had a bunch of them.
Was he the Oregon guy?
He was. Yes. Yeah.
And they took somebody else, Klinginger from Houston.
Okay, that was before then. Yep, David. Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorites would be, because we were just coming off the playoffs and we had two of the top 3 picks. We got LeVar Arrington and Chris Samuels. And LeVar was good, but in college he was great.
I tell you, he was on the team the year before I got at Minnesota. They were number 2 in the country. There's a picture of him. I mean, his feet, I don't know how he did it. He had to go on somebody's back, and they didn't call it. I mean, he is up to block this kick that Minnesota beat him on the last second.
The LeVar leap.
It was an unbelievable picture. And Penn State, after that game, went 19-19 in the next 38 games.
Oh, wow. You broke Penn State? Is that what you're telling me, Hood?
I wasn't there. I came the next season but that picture was up, and every day I saw it, and I just would look and go, God, he was Superman.
One of my favorite Hoodisms is freakazoid. I'm going to call LeVar a freakazoid.
Yeah, freakazoid.
Chris Samuels had the better NFL career. He was a great offensive lineman for Washington. Other would probably be recent, Chase Young, and it just did not work out, unfortunately. I thought he was going to be a game changer.
The injuries, probably.
I guess, but
didn't help.
He's where, in New Orleans now, I think?
Yeah.
Jamie said Ken Anderson, great Bengals quarterback.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
That's going back a ways, right?
Pull his stats up to some of these lunkheads that are in there.
My first Bengals QB was Boomer, the one I remember.
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah.
That was the Sam Weish offense where they were completely speaking another language and going hurry up on everybody.
We had a Pirate that had some good years with Cincinnati. Jeff Blake.
Blake was
throwing the deep ball to Darnay Scott.
Yeah,
Carl Pickens.
He had a great run there. He was popular.
Good
too.
God, Ken Anderson played my whole life.
He's got some percentages and rankings that are like off the chart good.
Yeah, 32,000 career passing yards. Where's the touchdowns? 197 to 160. 70% in 82.
Is that crazy?
Yeah. So from 71 to, well, I guess right before Boomer, 86. So there you go. All right. Let's see. What else you want to discuss on the rundown? Will NBA, NHL playoffs? What's your favorite game or prop tonight?
My favorite game is probably still Nuggets Clippers.
Can we take the Knicks? Can we trust them to win on the road?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just a better team. Cat had a terrible game in Game 2. He's going to be better than that. So.
All right.
What are the J.J. Redick's doing?
They're tied at 1 game apiece.
Did I see a video they were making fun of LeBron faking a fall again?
Probably.
And was like looking to see if he got the call. Caught him on camera peeking.
Sounds about right.
I mean, Jalen Brunson loves to throw his head back every time he gets guarded by somebody.
I saw a video. Is Joker flopping as well?
He always has.
He's a flopper,
but he just never got the calls. Now they're starting
Detroit
to
in the playoffs.
They are. They are playing the Knicks.
Biggest turnarounds, weren't they? Like
them and the Rockets. The Rockets are. They had like 3 times their win total from last year or something.
Yeah, the Pistons won 19 games the past 2 seasons, and then now they're the 6th seed in the East.
Yeah, they had a big turnaround.
According to the Bleacher Report, like the anonymous player post or something like that, Cade's the most underrated player in the league.
Cade Cunningham,
28% or something.
That I can get behind.
He's not even going to make an All-NBA team, apparently. I mean, the odds say he doesn't.
The most overrated player on that poll from the Athletic Players poll was Halliburton from Indiana.
I mean, like I said the other day,
I love
he's now
that.
underrated.
An underrated player on a winning NBA team. Dude, do you know how good you got to be to play in that league?
Well, but he's judged, in accordance to his peers, and he doesn't get enough credit, they're saying. I don't know.
But this is his first year.
That's like an NFL quarterback. He stinks. He's terrible. Do you know how good you got to be to get there?
Of course, Hud, but when we say a guy sucks, we don't mean he sucks compared to me. We mean he sucks compared to Dan Marino. Like when we said Greg Hudson sucks, we don't mean like... We were talking about you and Buddy Ryan. You suck compared to Buddy Ryan.
No, I don't.
Well, I was mad that time. You gave up a long pass.
Oh, that
one time.
My fault.
That was the DB. That was Kyle Chase's fault, or Van missed an assignment, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's take our last break
Because I got the ball too long. Linville's fault.
Back with you after this.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep introduces the Freedom of Choice pricing program. Choose between current available incentives and factory employee pricing on all new 24 and 25 Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. That's right. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep is giving you the freedom to choose your deal. Choose to save up to $11,000 off MSRP and get 3.9% APR for 72 months on a new 2025 Ram 1500. Or take employee pricing on the same truck. Save up to $9,000 off MSRP or lease a new Jeep Grand Cherokee for only $389 per month. Or get employee pricing on that new Grand Cherokee. Save up to 15% off MSRP on a new Jeep Wrangler or choose employee pricing. It's the Freedom of Choice pricing program. Go to ecauto.com.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep, across from the Cockerell in Greenville. Come see us!
Jeep leases 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. Offers do not include tax, tags, title, and $8.99 admin fee. See dealer for details.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers. Join us today for
big, juicy wings.
All season long at Tiebreakers.
Tiebreakers, with 2 locations in Greenville and on Railroad Street in Winterville.
This is Dr. Anthony Skellick from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes of ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com and go Pirates!
Hey, it's Lindsay Gray with Carolina Caliber. May and June will be here soon, and Mom and Dad are due for something extra special. There's no better gift than the protection of life. Empower your parent with a trip to Carolina Caliber. From home defense to concealed carry and tons of other personal protection and shooting sports gear, your parents deserve to choose from the finest selection in Eastern NC. Plus, the summer will be sizzling with exceptional factory promotions they won't want to miss. Grab a gift card and send them on over to Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville. It's a time-honored tradition.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is Clip Brock, host of PRL, every weekday at 3, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. It was a good day for the stock market. The Dow was up 486 points at 40,093. The NASDAQ was ahead 457 points at 17,166, and the S&P was up 108 points at 5,484. That is your Wells Fargo Advisors Stock Market Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now back to the show.
As Jamie said on YouTube, RIP Steve McMichael. I remember Mongo first seeing him in a WCW wrestling ring. I was too young to witness his football days. I remember him as a wrestler, but great player on a great defense. Right, Coach Hood?
One of the best ever in the NFL.
Yeah.
Have you seen his when he sang?
Oh man,
Take Me
yeah.
Out to the Ball Game,
and said he was going to beat up Angel Hernandez.
The best.
Yeah. He was as aggressive on that take me out of the ball game as he was on the football field.
Dude,
that was good.
They were so good, it was scary.
HUD, great hour, man. It was fun.
Good to be back.
Enjoyed
man.
it.
Good to see you.
Yeah, we'll do it again next week. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Logan. Hayden, you didn't really do much, but thank you for being here. Shirley, we'll see you tomorrow. Talk to y'all Friday, 3 o'clock, Pirate Radio Live for the crew. I'm Clip Brock. Jeff Charles, take us home, Coach HUD.
Be nice.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.